We welcome you to Toyota Arena in Ontario, California for a presentation of the Major Arena Soccer League live on MASL TV. This is the final game of the regular season, and this game has the St. Louis Ambush coming into town to take on the Empire Strykers. With both teams clinching the playoffs and with St. Louis looking to try to clinch a bye, this is no question going to be a very competitive game. Hello, everybody. My name's Christian Philemon, better known as Philly, alongside the coach, Artie Kyrell. The Empire, the last time we were here, kind of down on their luck after losing to the Tacoma Stars, a team that hadn't won on the road all season. But with the changes that have been made, an interim manager, Robert Palmer, and the captain of the team, the Empire went on a 2-game winning streak and clinched a playoff spot. Now they host the St. Louis Ambush for the 11th time in their history, but it's St. Louis that has the 2-1 series lead and a lot of hunger to try to clinch the bye. There's hunger all around the league right now. I mean, the standings are just absolutely crazy. San Diego, Kansas City playing tonight. San Diego can go from winning the Shield to dropping to 5th. Empire Strykers coming off a 2-game change on the victory slide and doing very, very well. Must continue to play well. St. Louis, on the other hand, win tonight. Other results, they take the Shield and they're sitting at home, taking the title. The one thing both teams have in common is they're coming off of wins against Utica City FC, which obviously has St. Louis coming in here with some ambition and some hunger. The best season they've had, dare I say, since joining the MASL. The Empire Strykers are going to come out red hot in front of what we expect to be a capacity crowd and a record-breaking crowd. Not only that, though, we're setting some history today. Prior to this game, we got an MASL women's game featuring the Strykers and the Sockers, which is a cool thing. Toyota Arena is going to be rocking tonight. It is going to be a crazy day. You know, as one of these, we mentioned a number of times, you know, my veteranship in this game. The moment the first female Empire Striker walks across, I'm getting goosebumps right now, Billy, walks across that line, it's going to be a special moment for the league. It's going to be a special moment for women's indoor soccer. It's just going to be a special moment overall for the soccer community here in the Inland Empire. We won't know the ramifications for this until down the road, but we will relive this moment. I will relive this moment for a long, long time. Truer words couldn't be said, my friend. I'm getting goosebumps just listening to that. Going back to the game, St. Louis are led by Tori Alba, who's been on a tear, Falzone, who's been taking care of business, Robert Williamson, who's an incredible anchor defensively, and of course, the legendary Paulo Nascimento in goal. St. Louis is tough. For the Empire, Alan Perez has been on absolute fire. A career year when it comes to goals. Marco Fabian waking up here in the later parts of the season. Justin Stinson firing on all cylinders. If the Strykers manage to get a win, they'll have a second consecutive year in which they reach the postseason, but a winning record, which is something that we haven't said consistently in Empire in quite some time. You know, the biggest thing about any table is getting to the dance, and the Strykers are in the dance. And right now, they've been set free a little bit in the way of their mindset. Marco stepping up, being Marco, and setting the tone and creating a great environment for the youngsters to play. You want to go in on a roll. Real important tonight that the Strykers and Coach Berto, who's got these guys dialed in and having some fun, got to keep it going. Fun is what we're all about, folks. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, we get down to business. The business of indoor soccer. The final game of the MASL regular season. It's the Ambush, it's the Strykers, and we are back on the other side of this break. You are watching the MASL, the Major Arena Soccer League, the greatest show on turf on MASL TV. We'll see you in just a moment.
National Core, proud to partner with your Empire Strykers. On the field, in the community, we defend the Empire. Sign up for our free soccer clinics and meet your favorite striker. Community, passion, this is your Empire.
Please 6 home, runway 26 break, we're on.
One, two, three, let's go. I see you staring, but don't want no smoke. I hear you talking, but I'm here for the show. Don't get it twisted, baby, I snatch souls. It be murder, she wrote. 1, 2, 3, let's go. I see you staring, but don't want no smoke. I hear you talking, but I'm here for the show. Don't get it twisted, baby, I snatch souls. It'll be murder, she wrote. 1, 2, 3, let's go. I see you staring, but don't want no smoke. I hear you talking, but I'm here for the show.
Corky's Homestyle Kitchen and Bakery, where good food and good feelings come standard. Our team serves up an array of made-from-scratch, homestyle favorites for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with fresh-baked goodies straight from the oven. Inspired by Grandma Corky herself, every dish is made with the freshest ingredients and a heaping helping of love. Her spirit lives on in every bite, filling more than just your belly. It fills your heart, too. So come join our family here at Corky's, where friendly faces, honest cooking, and quality food are just the way we do things.
The Major Arena Soccer League is proud to welcome you to MASL Soccer on MASL TV. Mitre, the official game ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League. Established in 1817, Mitre is one of the leading soccer brands worldwide and produces some of the best soccer balls in the world. Learn more at mitre.com. Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com to shop the all-new MASL fan store for the latest MASL and team gear. Think you can predict the MASL? Head over to NXTBets.com to place your wagers on all the MASL action this season. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toyota Arena in Ontario, California. We've made it to the final game of the regular season, and tonight is going to be an exceptionally incredible night. We're anticipating a capacity crowd as the Empire Strykers, the Empire Fury welcome in the St. Louis Ambush. My name's Philly, alongside the coach Artie Kyrell. This is going to be a great game as you see the starting lineups on your graphic card. Barbaro Chalier getting the start today, as indicated by interim head coach Robert Palmer. Artie, what these two teams have in common is the fact that they both beat Utica City FC recently. Empire firmly in that 6th position in the postseason. For the St. Louis Ambush, as you see their starting lineups right here, led by, of course, William Eske. This is a team that could potentially get a bye in the playoffs. They have a ton to fight for, and one could argue that the Strikers could potentially take their foot off the brake, but a win today would give them a winning record. So really, this is going to be a hot contest, a sizzling Sunday matchup here in the MASL.
I don't anticipate any breaks for the Ontario Fury. They've got to play well. They've got to continue to play well. When you're a playoff team, you've got to go into the playoffs in good form, and to slow down right now just allows, there's a famous quote from back in the day, Will Rogers. It doesn't matter if you're on the right track. If you slow down or stop, you're ultimately going to get run over, and that's the Strikers' mentality. St. Louis tonight coming in, they have a chance to finish tops in the table with the Supporters' Shield. The game's in flux there at halftime in San Diego. Comets come back to win that in regulation, and St. Louis wins. They walk away with the Supporters' Shield, if my math is correct. So there's a lot to play for. Give them an opportunity. The higher the table you are, the better the opportunity for home games in the playoffs. So a lot to play for both teams.
A lot to play for indeed. St. Louis having their best season in the Major Arena Soccer League. And congratulations to the Ambush. And shout out to all the fans tuning in on this broadcast. They are set to take the opening kick. The Ambush wearing the white kits with the blue trim and the pink numbers. By the way, that's incredibly attractive. I love the pink numbering. The Empire wearing the red and black, a.k.a. the Fury. And we are underway, live under the bright lights of Toyota Arena, the MASL here on a Sunday. Jeff Mashad controlling the ball. Mashad, his 7 goals this season, he scored 4 of them against the Fury, and that's a player that wasn't necessarily on the scouting report, but there's something about Empire as Eske almost threads one through. Another near opportunity. St. Louis coming in trying to ambush the Strikers, and a save, as I wanted to go out and say Brian Orozco getting the start in lieu of Brandon Gomez. St. Louis coming in red hot.
Some great chances to start with. I told you, there's no breaks here tonight, Philly.
No breaks indeed, but in a near calamitous situation as Nascimento belts that one in the air. A 50-50 ball between Eske and Chalier is not going to go very well for Eske as Chalier towers over him.
Schiller coming in from Utica City FC, trying to make his mark. Somebody who's made their mark this season is Alan Perez, a career high this season with goals as Marco Fabian gets fouled, and the Strikers have a restart in their offensive third of the turf.
I think you saw there, what is that, Santana give Marco a little nudge. I mean, anytime Marco's on the ball, he can settle it, create a tempo, and have a great hit.
De Leon with a shot saved by Nascimento. Schiller tries to serpentine his way past some St. Louis defenders, goes into De Leon.
George is a specialist. You've seen that in the last couple of games where he comes in and can make a big difference from that dead ball.
Stinson with a shot that goes into the netting. It's going to be a goalkeeper restart for the ambush. Stinson rocking that pink hair. Not going to lie, a little envious of that as well. I think at the age of 45, you can't necessarily get away with pink hair the way you can at Justin's young age. I think, what, Stinson's probably 25? Something of that nature?
Well, I'm just trying to get away with any hair on the top of the head. So.
That's fair.
You know,
that's fair.
I got the Joseph tail in the back, so I'm okay with that.
As that one goes right into the hands of Brian Orozco. Yeah, as you get older, it's kind of funny. You start to lose hair where you want it, and you start to gain it at places you don't need it. I've jokingly said this a couple of times. Who really needs hair in their ear? Orozco, well outside of his boxes, he's known to do. Connects in with Steven Chavez. This is a completely different Empire team that we've seen than the last time we were here. The last time we presided over a call was against the Tacoma Stars. Things weren't so rosy in the Inland Empire as the Strikers dropped a heartbreaker to the Tacoma Stars, a team that hadn't won on the road all season, and there was a lot of despair, and changes had to be made. Changes were made, and as a result of that, it is Robert Palmer, the captain of the Strikers, who's functioning in a dual role. Not only the anchor of the back line, not only the captain of the team, but the coach as well.
Yeah, bringing in a fresh perspective, and we've seen it in the style of play for the Fury.
Thought you thought about that for a second, didn't you?
I mean, just look at the shot clock difference, from what the team currently is doing under Berto versus, prior. Just a different approach to how they go. These are greyhounds. They want to run. We've talked about that before. And, in the immortal words of, Willem Wallace, freedom! Get to run a little bit and do what they do. So it's just a matter of now. Can they do that for 4 quarters and prevail?
On the turf, you see Zaha, a rookie who's got himself a couple of goals coming in from the Ukraine as that one gets smashed off the wall by Torrealba and right into the hands of Orozco. St. Louis with everything to play for. I mean, they've had a nice little travel as of late. Obviously playing in Utica. Now they are here in Empire, and from what I heard, their stays are going to be very long. I think they've got a 10 p.m. flight leaving the Ontario airport today. So this game goes into overtime. I mean, they still have plenty of time to catch their flight, but a quick turnaround as they're looking to get back to the Midwest. Zaha connects with Fabian. The Strikers jerseys, look incredibly attractive, going back to the days of the Ontario Fury. And it's funny that we should bring that up because the last time the Fury hosted a playoff game was back in 2021. And the Strikers will get to host that on Thursday. I say Strikers because that's what they'll be wearing on Thursday. Artie and I are playing a little game. Whoever says Fury is absolved from any kind of sin. Whoever says Strikers, well, that's a nickel into the sin bin. So if you're playing that game at home, you can take it and play it however you wish. But if Artie says Strikers, keep a note of that and feel free to message us later on because there's the penalty, a penalty that we cannot share on the air, but a penalty for Artie nevertheless.
So your mention of Strikers twice, is that sort of rule maker, key holder mulligan, or what's the deal?
When I reference games in the future, games in the past, it's okay. Games today is another thing. As Perez connects in with De Leon, Williamson tracking back quick. De Leon saved by Nascimento. Paulo's put up some incredible numbers this season. Look, a couple of years ago, he's coming off of an ACL tear, which could be a death knell for so many athletes, but Paulo has just been impressive all year long, and he's a big reason why St. Louis is in the position they are this season.
He's been fantastic, just great form all season long. The consistency of his play is the reason why they're at the top. I mean, goalkeeping's huge. We've talked about the 2 goalkeepers for the Empire Fury.
It's so funny hearing you hesitate because I know you want to make that mistake, but you don't want to put any nickels out there. I get it, Artie. I get it. We're not getting rich here. I get it.
It's the weekend. I got to pace myself.
It's the end of the weekend. I mean, if you haven't paced yourself already, you're already in a whole heap of trouble. Empire on the attack is Shalir getting pushed off of by Williamson. Williamson, one of the top shot blockers in the MASL. We see Reyes connecting in with the pink-haired Stinson. Might be my favorite color that Stinson has rocked throughout his illustrious career. Stinson, as we all know, the last time in St. Charles, Missouri, became the Strykers / Fury's all-time leader when it came to points. Cleaned up by the ambush, advanced ahead as Reyes. His header connects right in with Orozco. There we see Polo Hernandez into Mexican international sensation and the Strykers talisman, Marco Fabian. Fabian, in that game against Milwaukee, really came to life. Fabian obviously is an incredible talent who's done tremendous things in his short career in the MASL. But there were times throughout the season where he got lost in the flow of the offense. That wasn't the case the past couple of games. But here we are on the counter as the ambush tried to fire it in and didn't get enough of that. Was Murshad Ahmadi wearing the headband and the number 49.
Yeah, speaking of Fabian, you got to get your players touches. We talked about that with Justin, Fabian, George. These guys, they've made a living here with the certain things they bring to the club, and they've got to get their touches. And you see Fabian getting more touches. The more touches for Fabian, the better the Fury are.
Yeah, but Fabian's hitting the deck. Ambusher marking him aggressively. Perez, he's just been electric these last few games. Prior to this season, he now has about 13 goals. Prior to this season, he's had 2 consecutive years where he's had 9 goals. But Alan Perez has absolutely sparked to life this season. I remember him when he was playing for Fury 2. Now a longtime member of the Empire Strykers, one of their leaders when it comes to goals, assists, and points. It's nice to see the young man from the University of California, Riverside, thriving here in the indoor game.
Indeed, we've talked about it before. Paid his dues, does the work, comes with a smile, goes to work every single day. Just works hard, finds the right spots, and guess what? He's being rewarded this year.
When you enjoy the work you do, you never really work in a day in your life. As that ball comes off the boards into Dyerson Gratterall. Gratterall goes back to Reyes. Reyes chips it into Mansoret. And you can see anybody that gets close to the box, it's Williamson that gobbles up his opposing defender right like Pac-Man. Williamson just a hard-nosed defender as he connects with Eske. Eske also in the past couple of games has really come to life. I got to shout out the information director for the St. Louis Ambush, Jim Fossil. He put together some game notes. I got to say, one of the best in the industry. Reading the notes right now, I've got it on the screen. And shout out to the Ambush's staff and obviously to Jim for putting together some of the best notes you'll see in the Major Arena Soccer League. Colin O'Keefe off the wall, cleaned up by Palmer. And it takes a fortuitous roll back over to O'Keefe as he connects with Briggs.
Very clear tactic thus far for the Ambush, looking to go first panel there for the wall of scorer opportunities. That's one area where...
Oh, a near opportunity. What a save by Orozco! Oh my gosh, you almost saw a highlight reel as Briggs went the distance. And then moments ago, Brian Orozco, just watching him, I feel like I pulled a shoulder muscle, denying St. Louis what could have been the go-ahead.
No goalkeeper denies a photo op situation, and Brian's no different. Just flying over, getting a little poster work.
He hadn't played the last 2 games ever since Palmer took over, as it was Gomez who played against Milwaukee, and Gomez has been incredible in between the sticks in Utica City and in Milwaukee, and Orozco getting his opportunity to shine right here. And that was one heck of a shot stop by the Guatemalan futsal international. Williamson into Togba. Togba tries to make mincemeat of Palmer. Palmer's not going to have that, but Berto going to get called for the foul.
Good tactical foul from Berto, kind of slow in the counter, got caught flat-footed. Togba exploding by him. Just a little simple foul.
Did you just say exploding? Is that a word, Artie? Exploding.
In today's world, you can you can drift a little bit with the consonants.
Somewhere, Noah Webster is rolling over in his grave, writing a new entry into his dictionary. Exploding.
My son once told me, I don't choose to honor that definition. So I'll channel him tonight. Almost as though I'd said the word strikers 14 times already.
You've been thinking about it, as that one nearly gets threaded through. Torrealba And talk about a hair game, obviously Stinson being one of them, but Torrealba has changed his hair color a couple of times this season. And from our perch up here high in the rafters of Toyota Arena, I enjoy when players color their hair because it just makes them very identifiable. If it's not the number, it's the hairs. Chavez threads it nearly through. He ding-dong ring-a-ling-a-lings it off the left post. That was close. Close call for Chavez. Let's take a look at that replay again. Getting right by Torrealba. He beat Paulo, but it was the woodwork that beat Chavez.
That's that little quick release, no backswing, just in stride, striking the ball. You know, quadricep ankle flick, pushing it through.
Paulo trying to find Machad. Machad at one point had his rights owned by the Ontario Fury. And perhaps it's a result of the Fury holding on to his contract rights, the reason why he's had so much success against this team this season. Threaded through as Briggs gets too far under it, and that's going to send us to immediate timeout. Folks, the score might be 0-0, but the action is red hot here at Toyota Arena. We're going to step aside for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, more first quarter action. You are watching the MASL on MASL TV.
Hit it.
I'm so excited.
Buenos dias.
We are bred to be storytellers.
Welcome to Inland Edition Conversations, working to make the Inland Empire a better place.
Welcome to the Ontario Airport Hotel and Conference Center, where convenience meets comfort. Just 5 minutes from Ontario Airport and only 30 seconds from Toyota Arena, we are right in the heart of the IE and home to your Empire Strykers watch parties. Whether you're traveling, catching a game, or hosting your next big event, we have everything you need, from a full snack bar and pool to real-time flight tracking and flexible event spaces for groups of all sizes. Trusted by teams, fans, and the community, Ontario Airport Hotel and Conference Center is proud to be the Empire's most trusted hotel.
MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. The lights are bright on the Strikers. Stream it live on MASLplus.tv and replay the game on demand. Clip it, share it, live it again. Make sure to favorite your team to get instant updates on every game.
Loma Linda University Health and the Inland Empire Strykers have come together to support our community with a shared focus on health and fitness. The partnership reinforces both organizations' commitment to helping families thrive on and off the field. Together, we aim to build a stronger, healthier future for our Inland Empire region.
5:03 remaining in the first quarter. Still knotted up at a goose egg apiece between these two sides. This is the 11th meeting historically between the Ambush and the Strykers, and it's been the Strykers historically with the edge. I'm sorry, the Fury put that one in the nickel jar. 10-2 in favor of the Fury, but the Ambush lead the series this year, 2 wins. Strykers won the one, and that was a huge win that they won. And if they can tie the series, that'll be something, but obviously the Ambush are looking for that dub as Riley Uri, formerly of this organization. You see what I did there? I didn't have to mention any name. Got drafted at the Combine in Utica City FC. We were told that he wasn't going to make the trip, but we do welcome back Riley Uri. He was a member of the then called Strykers during the Paul Wright era. So that comes into Falzone. What a touch he had, by the way. Falzone on a tear, 4 goals and 1 assist in his last 3 games played. De Leon gets his pocket picked. And Perez, not to be fooled by Falzone.
Some tough defending going out there, Philly. Something's on the line for these guys. You can just feel it.
These are competitors. Of course, you can question, like the Strykers, you can ask, what do they have to play for? They're not going to advance any further than 6th place. But if you look at this building right here, If you know how athletes operate, they're competitive. They want to win. And if the Strykers do manage to get the dub, they've got a winning season. But it's Mashad with the steal. Mashad denied by Orozco. In a dangerous position was Gratterall connecting in with Shalir into the right. Intercepted back by Mashad as Torrealba connects with Trinidad and Tobago's favorite son, Christian Briggs. Into the right, it takes a bounce and into Orozco. Orozco out of Riverside and Guatemala City. Played with Comunicaciones' youth side and has featured for the Guatemala national futsal team. Brian Orozco, a fan favorite in the Inland Empire, and honestly all over in the Inland Empire. Everywhere we go with Brian Orozco, everybody wants photos with the young man, so he's making a name for himself. Perez into Chavez. Chavez had the best opportunity for a goal for the Strykers here in this first quarter as we are under 3 to go. We see Zaha, the rookie out of the Ukraine, on the ball. When you compete with the likes of a club and train with Dynamo Kiev, Zaha is an exceptional talent, and we've seen some tremendous things out of the young Ukrainian rookie, Artie.
Indeed. He's just composed. His left peg, he can hit the ball like a bullet.
The header from Perez. Shalir recovers it. Mashad aggressively bats it out of danger. Into the corner, finding his way out of trouble, tripped up, and that's going to be a foul going to the Strykers. 2:33 remaining in the first.
That's 2 on Berto in the quarter. So he's got to be careful for the remainder of the half.
Mashad quickly finds Randy Martinez. Randy Martinez, another former member of this organization, as he has it, and he's found a nice home in St. Louis. Mashad back over to Martinez. Martinez, who made his first entry, or played his first indoor game, was a USA-Mexico international game. He was found during a tryout, worked his way hard, or aggressively, I should say, to make the roster. Got to play in that international friendly, and that was years ago. I've lost count of how many years ago that was, but created a nice indoor career for himself as Shalir fires it. And right off of the Soccer in 60 dasher board. And folks, if you're not tuning into Soccer in 60, what are you doing? Stinson with the shot, saved by Nascimento, and back into the capable paws of Paulo.
Look at Fabian just skying for that, man. That was cool.
Fabian recently got married, and I don't know if he wants to air that out, but when you post it on social media, it's fair game for everybody. And ever since Fabian's got married, he's gotten something off his list of things to do. He's looked competitive. He looks hungry as ever.
He's bringing something to these youngsters here for the Ontario Fury.
Oh, right into the hands of Orozco's Falzone, who has the height advantage on Brian, elevated into it. Hernandez. Oh, if I can have a Marco Polo goal call today, how fun that would be. Intercepted by Togba. Orozco was out of position. Getting in the way was Reyes. That is veteran defensive leadership. Pass comes into Fabian. Fabian gets it across the yellow line. Togba stands and falls, but pokes it away. Under a minute to go as Zombie Nation plays on the jumbo on the speakers here. There are no zombies on the turf today. Both teams, all players fired up today, and so is this crowd. 35 seconds remaining in the first. Reyes. Stinson was calling for it. He gets it. Stinson, one of the best dribblers in this league, goes in off the wall to Lawal. Cutest Lawal, that is. Palmer. Esque with the intercepting header. Counterattack opportunity here as the ambush on the run. Ozzy Santana to the left to Riley Yuri. Broken up, and Palmer showing us why he's been a defender of the year in this league. But we have a player down on the turf with 5.1 seconds. Ozzy Santana gets his clock cleaned by Berto Palmer.
Yeah, he got a little bit of his shoulder. I'm not sure how well he was hit as he kind of cut across there.
And the officials are motioning into the trainer. That's never a good scenario.
But again, we're just talking about players, you know, in the final game of the year. Both teams are in the playoffs, but they're working hard out there. They want to put that away. Missed opportunity for St. Louis on that counter. They had a 3 versus 1. I thought if he went right shoulder, it might have been a better choice. But at the end of the day, both teams working hard.
Ozzy Santana looks like he took an elbow to the dome piece. Larry, take a look at that replay again.
Oh, boy.
Ouch. Ouch. You saw it there on the screen. We're not ones to make judgments on things, but you saw exactly what we just saw.
That's definitely a spinning back fist. Any UFC fighter proud right there.
And so the coaching staff of the ambush, Jeff Locker going towards the official. No challenge flag getting thrown, and once there is a challenge flag thrown, we'll obviously talk about that, but
I think they just ran out of time, Philly. You have a very finite period of time before you can throw it. Oh, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what they do if they let him get away with this. But
and there is the challenge flag. All right, yes. So bearing that in mind, Artie, explain to the audience at home what a challenge flag means and indicates.
Challenge flag is when the bench feels as though there was a foul miss, potentially leading to a blue card or a penalty, or an elevation and penalty. So now they're going to go and review it. There is a time limit between the amount of time the foul was happened and calling it. So I'm going to be very curious to see if they allow this.
St. Louis is challenging the play for contact above the shoulder.
So obviously they're letting it go, maybe because of the injury. There was a time delay, but we can all remember there were times throughout the season where coaches waited too long and they lost their challenge. So very fortuitous for St. Louis, and I think it's a good situation for St. Louis, and it's going to be difficult for Berto because this will probably result in a 2-minute penalty as long as his third foul for the half, and if he gets 4, that's another 2-minute penalty. So the player coach is getting himself a little sticky wicket at the moment. We'll see how they see it, if they see it the same way as I did. But that's a flagrant one in basketball, yeah? Keeping with March Madness.
A flagrant one in this day and age. Back in the 80s, that was just considered a personal foul. And speaking of personal fouls, let's talk about, well, that's not a good segue because this by no means is foul. Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV and on CBS Sports Golazo Networks. Our good friends Alex Bashivansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics.
MGR Real Estate and MGR Property Management, Southern California's largest independent family-owned real estate company, providing commercial sales and leasing, residential sales and leasing, residential and commercial property management, and homeowner association management. MGR Real Estate Services, the proud sponsor of the Empire Strykers. We would like to thank our official hotel sponsor, Ontario Airport Hotel and Conference Center, a Hyatt affiliate hotel, conveniently located just 2 miles from the Ontario International Market and 4 miles from the Ontario Convention Center, and where the Strykers Fury contest will be settled.
After review, we have a blue card on number 51 for an elbow to the above the shoulders.
So, so in this case, St. Louis prevailed in the challenge, so they have one more challenge for the remainder of the game. Very difficult, very, very fortunate.
Inside the box, so it's a blue card and it's a PK.
Okay, double whammy here. So because the penalty happened in the penalty area, there'll be a penalty kick. So it'll be the red dot. Shooter versus the goalkeeper.
Well, that's certainly a double whammy if I've ever seen a double whammy. So the question is going to be who's going to take it. It looks like it's either Briggs or Torrealba going up against Orozco. Well, this might break the goose egg here with 5.1 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Like I said, Philly, that's very fortuitous. I mean, there was some venom to that swing. I mean, Berto easily could have received a yellow to a red card in that situation. So you want to, look at this and say, quite fortuitous at the moment. We'll see how this plays out.
It's going to be Amati and Orozco. Who's going to come up? Will it be the defense or the offense? The whistle blows, the opportunity. Murshad murders it into the back of the net, and the ambush take an early 1-0 lead.
Yeah, just a good finish. I mean, it's very difficult for the goalkeeper. My goodness, it's such a violent shot in that they can just strike it anything they want. And the goalkeeper basically is just flinging himself to get hit. And tremendous risks. They save it with the hands as well. If you get a touch to it, it's just very powerful, very difficult. So a costly foul for Coach Berto in this situation. As you can see here, there's just, the ball's got to hit him to save him. Goalkeepers are crazy dudes.
And that comes into Briggs. And there you hear the horn And the momentum seems to have found its way in the direction of the St. Louis ambush as Murshad Ahmadi scores his 16th goal of the season. Ambush lead by a score of 1-0, and we're going to set it to a break for a second. Happy Sunday Fun Day, folks. We'll see you on the other side of this break. Ambush up 1-0. Plenty of more action to be had here at Toyota Arena. And thanks for tuning in to the MASL on Sunday Fun Day.
When your heart needs a helping hand, you want the best, most advanced treatment available. We know there's strength and expertise. That's why for over 50 years, we've been a trusted provider of heart and vascular care in the region, specializing in minimally invasive surgical techniques, from treating infants born with heart defects to performing complex endovascular procedures. Our specialists are here to support strong, healthy hearts. Loma Linda University International Heart Institute. Many strengths, one mission.
Today in America, 11 million children are living in poverty, in desperate need of food, academic support, and stable housing. Children who face staggering challenges and who are more likely to experience health problems and fall behind in school. But there is hope. At Hope Through Housing, we are changing lives. We provide children with the support they need to dream, learn, and break the cycle of poverty. Your gift today can make a world of difference in the life of a child.
Funding for this program is presented by September's Tap Room and Eatery. More information at septembers.com.
Here for giggles. Here for support. Here for healing. Here for courage. Here for moments. San Antonio Regional Hospital. Here for life.
Join the Hope Through Housing Foundation in empowering children and families in the Inland Empire and beyond through after-school programs and financial coaching. To learn more and see how Hope is making a difference, visit hopethroughhousing.org. San Antonio Regional Hospital is a proud sponsor of the Empire Strykers, keeping our community strong, healthy, and active for over 115 years. San Antonio Regional Hospital, here for life. Tonight, we would like to give a special thank you to GoCal, your official destination guide to the inlands. Discover the best of Ontario, Rancho Cucamonga, and the surrounding region, from top-tier dining and entertainment to family fun and outdoor adventure. GoCal showcases the best our region has to offer. Whether you're new to the area or a local looking for something fresh, GoCal has you covered, and discover more at gocal.org.
Here we are, starting the second quarter. The Ambush are up by, well, one goal, 1-0, as Murshad Ahmadi punches one past Brian Orozco. And as things look around the league, the Ambush are currently leading the Strykers 1-0. And from what I see on my computer screen, it's the Sockers. Well, let me double check that. Let me refresh.
KC.
It's the Sockers. Oh, it's KC. All right, so maybe my Wi-Fi's a little funky. Yeah, there you go. KC leading the Sockers 4-3. So a lot to play for. There's a lot at stake here today. And that penalty by Palmer, very costly. And if you're wondering why he's back onto the turf after that penalty, well, obviously, like in hockey, when a goal is scored, the defender, or the player who got the infraction gets to come back. Stinson on the counter. Stinson to Fabian. Misses. It ricochets back over to Justin, and Briggs gets in the way. Yuri on the run. Riley Yuri, we know how he can fly. And he tried to thread that through, but Alan Perez deflects it as it goes right back to Orozco. 4-3 the shot differential between these two sides. Shalier denied by Paulo.
What a save.
Another attempt right into the hands of Paulo. They refer to him as the Brazilian Rob Lowe, and he makes saves that are just as attractive as Rob Lowe himself. I said it. If I could edge as gracefully as Rob Lowe, I would be in a good position. Gratterall in the midfield finds Perez. Perez just sandwiched by the ambush. Into the right to O'Keefe. And that's going to go right back to Orozco.
Just got to love Santana's feet right there, just so calm and collected, bleeding O'Keefe in there. Just love this game, Philly.
100%. Off the wall, into low wall. That's going to quickly become one of my favorite things to say. I haven't gotten to say it very often, but here we go. Talk about Ozzie Santana. 10 games played, 7 goals, 2 assists. He's made the most of his time here in the MASL.
We just need Luwala to give us a goal, an assist off the board, and you got a Luwala scorer.
Cudis backheels it into Palmer. Palmer resets going into Reyes. The Reyes family's had a lot of success this weekend as Andy's wife Jennifer scored in the MASL women's game a week ago, I should say, against the San Diego Strykers. We had an MASL women's game here hours ago, and we had a great crowd. And honestly, I'm so happy to see the MASLW here in the Inland Empire. Hoping that it sticks around, hoping that it's something that we can get behind. And listen, women's sports are growing, and it's tremendous. Love the women's game, love soccer, love the sport of indoor, and hopefully y'all out there can support it just as much as we do and are going to do. Zaha.
It was a tremendous event. You know, having a daughter myself, just the beauty of the smile of those young girls watching that was just outstanding.
Polo, bottom left corner, where the dust mites dwell. The equalizer, it is now 1-1.
Excellent finish. Just hitting a far post, driven ball. Just, just methodically going through it. There's no rush to it. Nothing other than just playing, just simple and easy. Plays it. It's the warm-up. If you watch the warm-up, that's exactly what's going on. Just it all comes down to execution. And we talked about it earlier about the shot clock and the difference in the shot clock with the team now. You can just see that their tempo going forward and taking chances is greater, and they're getting the chances into this particular situation. Polo just puts it home. Great finish.
Leopoldo Hernandez, nicknamed Polo, has now just registered his 11th point of the season and his 5th goal. Huge goal for the Strykers, and the crowd feeling it. A great crowd here at Toyota Arena, looking around the upper tiers, the lower tiers. People have come out to see the Empire Strykers, the only major league team in the Inland Empire, and they're being treated to what's been a competitive and action-packed game of indoor. That one careens off the United Chiropractic Health Center dasher board. Intercepted by Eske. Eske to the right side. Look at the defense by Luwal, denying Togba.
Great recovery from Luwal.
That goes back to Eske as he connects with Paulo. Eske here in his 6th year at St. Louis, 8th in the MASL. Part of that MASL rookie team in 18 and 19. MASL All-Star a year ago. Over to Amadi, chested off of Zaha in dangerous territory. You see the sportsmanship between Amadi and Orozco.
You can see both teams are in playoff mentality. In the playoffs, defending becomes imperative in play, and you can just see the mental mindset for every player, no matter what position. If you're a forward or whoever you are, you're here to defend and defend at a high rate.
Shalir, a tough touch, but still has it. Fighting, and it looks like that's going to be a foul. Falzone thinking there was a boarding call there, as you could tell from his body language towards the referee, and Shalir helps him back up. We play on as Martinez advancing it across the midfield. An errant pass almost took out a fan, and we did see a fan's popcorn get taken out in the women's game a couple hours ago. That's the thing, if you sit in that first row, you see a lot of action, but beware of flying objects, in particular if you're holding onto a drink or some popcorn. Shalir, Cuban international futsaler, into Stinson. Stinson wearing, I guess, the captain's armband there. Haven't seen that neon green armband before. And then Martinez is going to get called for the foul. That's the 3rd time that Fabian's hit the deck really hard. Marco is taking a lot of black and blues today.
He's got a lot of attention. I mean, there's a reason why St. Louis has done well. They've done their, their due diligence. And, You know, the more Marco's on the ball, the more opportunities there's been for the Ontario Fury. So
technically Empire Fury, but I'll let you slide there. And Fabian's going to call a timeout here with 10:27. Marco here, believe it or not, it's crazy that this is his 3rd year in the MASL. It feels like just yesterday the Strykers made their announcement. I'm sorry, the Fury made their announcement that he was signing on. Just a heck of a career. 2012 won a gold medal with the Mexico Olympic team, beating Brazil in the Olympic Games. That's no easy feat. He was MASL second team, 24. 25. He was the newcomer of the year, Elite 6 and co-Golden Boot winner, along with Kansas City's Zach Reggett a couple of years prior. 43 caps with Mexico, played at Chivas de Guadalajara, Eintracht Frankfurt, Philadelphia Union, FC Juarez, Mazatlan, Cruz Azul, played in the Middle East. Marco Fabian has been all over the world, and in particular, we've gotten to know him real well. You can't roll around Southern California with Marco Fabian because people are going to flock to him for photos. He's had himself a heck of a career. There you see the goals by both teams. Polo Hernandez with the equalizer. And, of course, the first goal of the game scored by Murshad Ahmadi on that foul by Berto Palmer. We were anticipating a tightly contested game, and that's what we have today here with 10:27 remaining in the second quarter.
Well, I think the most important thing for Marco right now is what he's done for the organization in the last 2 games. You know, coming after the coaching change in Milwaukee, just kind of took the team on his shoulders, got some points. And then same thing in Utica, got points again. So expect him to get points, and that's why we're seeing him getting nicked up a bunch of times here thus far in the first half. So, yeah, I mean, it would have been an early timeout for Empire Fury. My thought is Fabian wants to have a go here, and he got a little nicked, and he said, ouch. So just kind of set it up and let's see what we have here. You know, but he wanted to be in the best, mental mindset to kind of make the proper decision with the ball.
And here's the restart. Looks like it's going to be Reyes to Fabian with space, and he kicks that into Martinez. It bounces into Stinson. Stinson chips it, trying to find Chavez. Marked by Mashad. Steven Chavez has had himself a nice run here in Empire. 4th year in the MASL. 3 previous seasons with the Texas Outlaws out of El Paso. I know Steven Chavez is enjoying his time in Southern California. This year in particular, this winter has been one of the warmer winters that I've faced moving to California in the last 10 years. And not to say that Texas has cold winters like it would in the Northeast, but you gotta love it when you walk outside. It's February. I know now it's March, but 80 degrees or something. We've had a very warm winter this season.
Yeah, well, the entire planet's getting warmer. But, Dallas Cup goes on right now, so I hear exactly what you're saying, other than the tornadoes.
Yeah, well, there's that too. But in California, you got the tornadoes, you got the earthquakes, you got the traffic. Stinson with space to maneuver. That bounces off. Stinson had a nice, clean look, and you can tell that he's frustrated. He knew it. He had the go-ahead right at his feet. And what I've just noticed is, I don't know if he planned to do this on purpose, the captain's armband actually nicely matches his footballing boots. The restart. Hernandez, already a goal today, goes to his right side. That is George De Leon. A couple of members, former members of the Outlaws.
I think on that last one there, Justin was slightly distracted with Mansouri, because if Mansouri holds his run, he's got to tap in, but he kind of went back stick, and you saw Justin look for him, and then he went with the hit. So
Hernandez over to the Stinger himself, the all-time franchise leader in points, trying to get his way past O'Keefe. And he manages to do so, but Paulo comes through and up. Togba has it. Pounces it into Santana, still sticking with it into O'Keefe. They got Torrealba open to the left. They're going to reset back into Colin. O'Keefe over to Togba. Now St. Louis has some time to reset their offense.
See how quickly you get 5 guys behind the ball. Just, both teams.
Tough touch. And there's the whistle.
He's got to go front panel there.
I believe that is John Gates who took to the turf. Yep, 23, just got masked. From our angle, can't see the 23 as vividly as we'd like, but again, I love the color pink. There's something about the color pink that just opens me up. Black and pink to me is some of the best color combinations, and no, I'm not an Inter Miami fan, but Shout out to the designers of St. Louis's jerseys. They are very sharp. Gratterall in his rookie season. Gratterall has been a fine addition to this team. Discovered at the TST, playing for 10-15. Eske into Amadi. Easily identifiable by that headband. He didn't have it the last time these two teams played at Toyota Arena. There's a nice pass in. Just has a little too much mustard as the Strikers were trying to connect with Tony Della Torre, taking his first minutes here in today's game. We haven't seen much of Tony Della Torre today.
He's running in threes, just kind of waiting, helping. The guys running the first two lines, getting the minutes, but you need everybody to pull their shifts today.
Palmer into Chavez. Back over to Reyes. There we see Zaha.
Just the composure of the young player. Very composed, organized. It's good to see.
Seems like he's been playing this game for a little while, and he came on late into the season. He's just trying to get his paperwork figured out. Williamson, to the air he goes. Palmer off the wrong side of his head, but look at Zaha go. Had he not made the run that he did, John Gates has a nice clean run at Orozco on a counter. There's Zaha again with the touch, chipping it past Eske. And Zaha hits the deck. He's going to get fouled. 7:02 remaining here in the half.
That was the veteran telling the rookie, you shall not do that outside of the foot touch pass to me again.
Strikers on the restart as we're under 7 to go here in the half.
What team was that?
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Faux pas. Mansoure. Williamson denies him on that corner. I've actually lost track of how many times I've said Strikers. This is maybe not as much fun of a game as I thought it would be because I'm clearly losing. Stinson out of St. Charles, Missouri. Off the wall. Too much as Togba cleans it. De Leon over to Stinson. Stinson across that yellow line. The stinger. Talk about a nice come-to-home moment as Stinson, from the same town that the ambush play in, for him to score a goal in front of that ambush crowd, in front of his family and friends. Very, very nice story. Stinson went to a tryout for the ambush back when Everton Morera, saved by Paulo, denying De Leon. Stinson went to a tryout when Everton Morera was the head coach of the ambush, and then he went to a tryout in a pair of Vans, not what you'd call indoor soccer shoes, and impressed the coaching staff enough to where he was given an opportunity, and he made the best of that opportunity. Without question, Justin Stinson, the man on the ball right there, is one of the best players this league has seen.
He certainly made the most of his opportunity for sure. Look at here. I just like the way he's moving the ball today. He's looking for himself, which is what he should do, but then he's also finding the ball at the appropriate time to get someone else the ball.
The body's hitting the floor. Hashtag drowning pool. So it looks like that's going to be a foul assessed to the ambush. That's going to be a restart here for the Strikers, as Reyes is set to take it. Fabian heading towards that yellow line. Strikers have Perez, Stinson, De Leon. I'd like to see De Leon get involved in the offensive flow of things. De Leon getting some minutes here late in the season. And there he is, finding space. De Leon blocked. What a block by Riley Uri. Recovered by Eske, but that goes right into the Strikers bench with 5:10 remaining in the half. And that's going to send us to immediate timeout, folks. Things are red hot here in Empire. 1-1 the score. We'll see you on the other side of this commercial break.
Are you looking for inspiration? The FYI podcast shares powerful stories from people like NFL Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson, Gabrielle Walsh, star of NBC's hit show Bound. You'll learn all about mindset and what it takes to navigate, overcome, and persevere through any challenges that life puts in front of you. If you're ready to be inspired, subscribe to the Finding Your Inspiration podcast.
Strykers fans, don't miss out on this season's Collector Strykers Passport. You can purchase your passport online and start collecting stamps and autographs. Don't wait, get your Collector Strykers Passport today. Soccer in 60 is your go-to source for pro soccer in the greater LA. For all things LAFC, LA Galaxy, Angel City, Orange City SC, Orange County SC, and the Empire Strykers. Tune in live every Thursday at 4 p.m. on KMET 1490 AM, at 6 p.m. on Fox Sports 1270 AM, or anytime on the Empire Strykers YouTube or your favorite podcast players. Just search for Soccer in 60.
Appreciate you fixing that. I was about to question, where is Orange City? Once that pass comes into Palmer. Palmer smashes it off the plexi. Martinez 50-50 with Stinson, and Randy's going to get called for the foul.
And get bonked in the head.
Bonked in the yeah, absolutely. Randy Martinez, who does have his MBA. I think he mentioned that he wanted to be a police officer once his career playing indoor soccer is done. I think that's what I overheard him saying back when he was on the Fury team. Lawal spinning around Briggs. Cudis. Back to Palmer. I guess as a playing coach, you can't assume the role of captain and coach as well. Gratterall. Robert Palmer assumed the role of Empire Strykers captain after the retirement of Israel Cisse, who was in the building today. Izzy Cisse was handing out medals in that Strykers vs. Soccer's MASL women's game. It's always nice to see the former captain of the Fury here in the building.
And his trademark all-white kit.
Yes, all decked in white with a white cap, and honestly the best smile of anybody I've ever seen anywhere in the world.
It was great to see Cisse. Got to have a great conversation before the game. Super dude. But as you said earlier, it's very difficult. You can't be captain and coach because captain is the person, he's the liaison to the coach. So certainly you can't be the person that you want players to come to talk to, take to yourself. So that's how it works.
Under 4 remaining here in the half. This game tied at 1. Mershad Ahmadi would score on a penalty kick, and Polo Hernandez of the Strykers would create the equalizer. That's what has us at the scoring line. Palmer cleans it, but picked right back up by Torrealba. Torrealba into O'Keefe. Torrealba, 3 goals and 2 assists in his last 3 games. He's been red hot, although he's been fantastic ever since he came into MASL. There's a shot, aggressively muscled in to the netting. That's going to be a goalkeeper restart for Empire as Falzone finesses that one aggressively. Too much of a pass from Orozco and Reyes. Counterattack opportunity, but look at the defense by Steven Chavez. Zaha with the spin around. That comes into De La Torre. De La Torre defended by Esque. Ball is loose.
It's off his foot.
And Paulo picks it right back up.
Yeah, there's no pass back to the goalkeeper in indoor soccer. What you saw there, it was just a reaction move. It wasn't a pass on purpose. It has to be a purposeful pass back to the goalkeeper. Otherwise, that would have been an infraction and a free kick for his Striker Fury. So is that a half point for me?
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about you saying both names at once. I guess we'll leave that up to the production staff to decipher what we should do about that. Mashad comes through. Mashad tries to squeeze it past Orozco. Intercepted by Williamson. Williamson scores! Defense leads to goals, and St. Louis now takes a 2-1 lead, courtesy of the defensive prowess by that man right there, Mr. Robert Williamson.
Just with the toe poke right beyond, Brian Orozco there on the near post. You're going to learn, playoff soccer is about managing your giveaways and dictating where and how you lose it. And that was just an overly ambitious exit from the Fury to get out, and they paid the price. So hopefully, you know, learning that lesson in the first half, giving you an opportunity in the second half to rebound and get that goal. It's going to be a good lesson to learn for the young team.
Williamson with his 5th goal of the season. You talk about an ambitious exit. I feel like I've done plenty of those off the 405 driving in LA traffic.
That would be me if I had so many notches for using the wrong word today.
I don't know. I think we've lost track of like all the blemishes that we have in this game. Williamson out of Fishkill, New York, traded from Milwaukee back on February the 21st of 2025. In his 5th year in the MASL, he has established himself as one of the premier and elite defenders in this league, and he's come up big with that goal. Out of Buffalo State College, where he was two-time all-conference. Played with Flower City in the NISA. And shout out to our friend Jimmy, who runs things over there. I know NISA Flower City did win.
Yeah, I don't know the top of my head, Philly, but I recall, you know, he had a very good game the first time they played here.
He scored.
They got the victory. He
scored.
I asked him back at the hotel if he really had that. Thought he could go by Justin on that off-the-wall sprint. He was very confident that he'd win the race.
Williamson and Mashad both had goals the last time they squared off against Empire here in this building. Look at Riley Yuri go. He's going to get tripped up by Perez. Yuri hitting the deck pretty hard.
Yeah.
Riley Yuri, as we mentioned, was a member of the Fury. I said Fury. Out of Vermont, traded to St. Louis back over a year ago. 3rd year in the MASL. Product of the University of Vermont. Go Catamounts.
It's good to see him get up because you heard that sound. It sounded like a drum kit test right there, the way it sounded off that board. So glad he's okay.
There's the defense by Stinson on Torrealba. Torrealba really quiet here offensively, but so the last thing you want to do is ignite him as there's a save by Orozco. They're approaching the 60-second mark here in the half. 2-1 lead for the St. Louis Ambush. Don't see the score currently of that Sockers Comets game, but it is tied in the 4th quarter. A lot on the line here for the Ambush. For the Strykers, it's really about respectability and pride and trying to finish off the season on a winning tip.
Yeah, you know, getting to that 500, the Mendoza line, but also proving that consistently you can win games over a period of time. That's what every playoff team has to do, and that's definitely what every championship team has to do.
Backheel touch. Stinson shoots into the net. Tried a scorpion-like attempt there, side booting it. But with 25.5 seconds left, it's going to be ambush ball here.
Yeah, Fabian had his own little scorpion maneuver there. Almost pulled his groin on that. That'd been pretty sick, though, if he were able to hit that with his heel and go towards frame.
Well, I mean, I practically pulled my groin just watching that.
Easy.
13 seconds. Hernandez into Stinson. And he's going to get clobbered by Torrealba. Looking for a card was Stinson, motioning to the official. Well, the Strykers have done, on a couple of occasions, scored in the death in the final seconds. And typically that's reserved for Alan Perez. He's not on the turf today, but 6.9 seconds. Still, in this game, anything can happen.
Billy, that was a great foul. I think, is there a challenge flag? Did they drop the challenge flag?
There is. I see the challenge flag. It just didn't get thrown far enough.
That's the youngsters on the bench there. Coach Berto still trying to work out his stuff.
Ontario's challenging the play for a blue card. The call on the field was a simple foul.
It was a very good foul. So here's the thing. As he broke through, if he breaks that line with the ball, it's 4v2 to goal with 20 seconds to play. And it's a very good high opportunity for a goal. I think it's a simple foul, but at the end of the day, from a tactical perspective, the magnitude of that foul carries some great weight. So if the referees weigh that out, watch here. Okay, so they get it, they're flat. If he breaks through here, right, it's 4. 1, 2, 3. There's one person higher. There's 4 versus 2. It's all over. So although the foul itself wasn't violent or dangerous, outdoor this would be a professional foul. Indoors they kind of look at these situations a little bit differently. I still think it's just it's on the defending half, so a lot can still play. But from a tactical perspective, huge decision.
Like your emphasis on the word huge. Appreciate that breakdown too. No, 100%. So that's what they're going to go to the monitor. It's like when the challenge flag was dropped, it's like you and I dropping a banana peel. It wasn't necessarily thrown out there. So we didn't see it until the official picked it up.
Well, I saw him bending over, and I'm looking down at the bench. It's a very, very inexperienced bench. And And actually, Mio down there was well, anyway, he just dropped it. You got to chuck that thing.
Heading down to the officials for the, official verdict. Standing by.
After review, the call on the field stands. Simple foul, no blue card.
Yeah. So Empire's going to lose their challenge with a whole half of soccer still to be played. Was that the right call, Coach?
Again, I think that's a bunch of guys on the bench just kind of throwing in some input. And, you know, obviously the flag wasn't thrown with conviction. I don't think I would have made the call because, like I said, it wasn't a dangerous foul. It wasn't a violent foul. He didn't pull the jersey. But the magnitude tactically would say, hey, that was a great 4v2 situation. But the laws of the game wouldn't reflect that as being something. And I wouldn't, in the magnitude of this game, I don't think I would have done that.
Fabian chipping it, headed by Williamson. Reyes hit the deck, no foul there. And that's the horn as the ambush lead going into the half. Gotta feel pretty good if you're St. Louis and if you're fans back in the Midwest. Your ambush team is halfway through a potential bye in the postseason. A strong start for the ambush, but a very competitive game here. 3 goals within the first half. And it's been delightful here on this Sunday Fun Day. We're standing by waiting for Amanda the Panda Filament, our sideline correspondent, as she is going to chat with Robert Palmer, getting his thoughts on the half.
Exciting time. First interview for Coach Berto in Toyota Arena. So,
yeah, I had to think about that for a second as he's chatting with his assistant, Ciro Oliveira.
He's saying, don't worry, you look good, makeup's good, just speak clearly.
At this point, Berto's going to have to take his player hat off and put on his coaching hat. So standing by with Amanda the Panda Filament. Take it away, Panda.
Guys, I'm here with Coach Berto Palmer. You're fighting against a team that has a lot to lose, fighting for the top spot. How do you feel they've done so far in this game?
We know the game plan coming in, that what they were going to do, kind of sit back. They kind of started high pressure, then after that, they just sat back, and it's something that we worked on. So we just got to be a little bit more patient with the ball the second half and just play our game. We kind of play into their hands and also the referee.
Your spot's already set in the playoffs, but how important is it to come out and give a performance that says not only do you belong in the playoffs, but you are a contender in this at the end of the day?
Yeah, it's one game at a time. I just think we just got to stay a little bit more focused and just come out second half way better.
All right, your second half to come. Good luck to you guys. Can't wait to see what you guys can do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda Filament. Thank you, interim coach Palmer. The ambush go into the locker room up 2-1, out shooting the Strikers by a slim margin, 8-7. Your goal scorers in the first quarter, it was Murshad Ahmadi off a penalty kick with 5 seconds remaining in the quarter. Put the ambush up by 1. Polo Hernandez, assisted by Barbaro Shalier, would create the equalizer, and then as Robert Williamson creating an opportunity out of nothing, defensively creating a goal-scoring scenario for himself at the 12:36 mark, and that's what puts us at this 2-1 scoring mark. So much to be had here, so much to play for both teams. We are going to step aside. Sunday Fun Day. Head on over to that fridge, get a stretch, go to your Postmates, go whatever you have to do, and make sure you come on back to hang out with Philly, Panda, and Artie. Halftime here, ambush up 2-1 on the Fury.
For 30 years, National Corps has been transforming lives, building communities where our residents and neighbors can thrive, and providing homes for your Empire Strykers. Affordable, high-quality, secure housing. National Corps, home of the Empire Strykers. For 30 years, National Corps has been transforming lives, building communities where our residents and neighbors can thrive, and providing homes for your Empire Strykers. Affordable, high-quality, secure housing. National Corps, home of the Empire Strykers.
Corky's Homestyle Kitchen and Bakery, where good food and good feelings come standard. Our team serves up an array of made-from-scratch, home-style favorites for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with fresh baked goodies straight from the oven. Inspired by Grandma Corky herself, every dish is made with the freshest ingredients and a heaping helping of love. Her spirit lives on in every bite, filling more than just your belly. It fills your heart, too. So come join our family here at Corky's, where friendly faces, honest cooking, and quality food are just the way we do things.
1, 2, 3, let's go. I see you staring, but don't want no smoke. I hear you talking, but I'm here for the show. Don't get it twisted, baby, I snatch souls. If you murder, she roll. 1, 2, 3, let's go. I see you staring, but don't want no smoke. I hear you talking, but I'm here for the show. Don't get it twisted, baby, I snatch souls. If you murder, she roll. 1, 2, 3, let's go. I see you staring, but don't want no smoke. I hear you talking.
Society has an obligation to help others when others are struggling. Families can become distressed because they lose their father. Now a mother's forced to raise their 3 children. How does she get a job? How does she create the means to take care of her kids?
For nearly 30 years, National Core and Hope Through Housing have changed the lives of hundreds of thousands of individuals, providing housing, offering hope, transforming communities. National Core and Hope Through Housing, building the future of community.
Hey guys, it's Amanda the Panda, and I'm joined today by Ali Somo. Ali, thank you for being here today. I got to interview you for your first ever goal within the indoor arena game. So I want to get to know you a little bit more, because that was a fun in the moment thing, but let's take it back a little bit. Born in Kenya, made your way to Utica. Talk to me about what it was like going from Kenya to Utica. I have to imagine that was quite a little bit of a transition.
It was a change, but for me, I was younger at the time, so I don't remember much from Kenya. I think my brother would have a better perspective on it, but it was difficult growing up though, because I had to learn the language, obviously, and like adapt to learning people different than me, and like people like who are different than my brothers. Because growing up, it was just mainly me and my brothers. I didn't start going to school until I was like 6, 7 years old.
Right.
So yeah, it was difficult, but the thing that really kept us grounded and like just keeping us pushing was soccer.
I was gonna say, I mean, soccer's such a universal language. You almost don't even need to speak the other language when you're talking with other people that are playing. Talk to me about what really got you into playing the game.
Well, when we were younger, obviously my older brothers were kind of the reason why I started playing soccer. So I have a brother even older than Isak, who was a similar player to me, left-footed as well. So he's kind of like who I looked forward to, looked up to more than Isak.
Interesting.
Really good player.
I love that. Now, obviously, Isak, your brother, we talked about, played at Utica.
Yeah.
Was him playing in the indoor game a reason why you decided to come to the indoor game, or how did that whole conversation happen between you two?
Yeah, I think that's the main reason. When he was playing at Utica, every time I would go to his game, and it just looked so fun, direct, like exciting, and that's the kind of soccer I like. You know, super fun. You know, just like free.
It is super fun, and you've adapted so well. Like I said, I got to talk to you after your first goal within the MASL. Talk to me about what that felt like to score your first professional goal. I know that was something you couldn't wait to prove to everybody that you could do.
Yeah, it felt awesome. I still remember the feeling, honestly. Like, you know, every goal, it feels similar every time I score. So, you know, I try to make every goal a good one. You know, sometimes you'll score a tap in, but you know, I try to make every goal a one to remember.
I mean, certainly, and we remember all of them as well here within the Empire Strykers community. You know, something that you get to do is you get to play this game with your family member. You get to play it with your brother. What is it like sharing these moments with somebody like Isak?
It's comforting, honestly. You know, someone that I'm familiar with since day one. So it's comforting to play with my brother, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially on the field. At practice is good as well, but on the field, you know, sometimes we speak to each other in a different language on the field. So it's kind of like, it's almost like an inside thing.
I was gonna say, you don't really need to have chemistry with your brother. You don't have to develop that. You already have that, absolutely.
Yeah.
So now we're heading into a real critical part of this season. I mean, you guys have clinched the playoffs. Tonight's gonna be hopefully a fun game for you guys, a little less pressure. What are the next steps that you guys want to take as far as with tonight's game? Are you looking to kind of go into this and just show everybody why you deserve to be in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think we're going into this game, to prove that we're not like just in the playoffs like as a consolation. We're in it to try to win it, to compete.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you guys have proven that all season. I know it's been some ups and downs, but do you feel like you guys are in the best form that you could be going into this now?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I love that for you. Wanted to talk to your brother, and maybe we'll get him on at some point, but it was so great to talk to you, and not just after a game, after a big goal. You had such an amazing season. I hope to see a lot more goals from you going forward within the MASL, but thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Funding for this program is presented by September's Tap Room and Eatery. More information at septembers.com.
Hello, Empire Nation. I am Martina Sellers, the CEO of MASL Wellness Center, and I am so excited to announce this amazing partnership with the Empire Strykers on Score a Lunch with a Striker.
So the students can qualify. We have 3 pillars. So for their academics, their character, and their perseverance. All right, kids, so work hard so that you can get those entries in. Maybe you'll get to meet Coach O.
Yeah, and I'm super excited. I hope to see you guys at the game.
National Core, proud to partner with your Empire Strykers. On the field, in the community, we defend the Empire. Sign up for our free soccer clinics and meet your favorite striker. Community, passion. This is your Empire.
With 6 home, going to 6th grade. We're going.
How goes it, folks? This is MASL in 5, back for another week. Hope everyone is doing great. Things are heating up across the league, and there are some big matchups happening this weekend. I've only got 5 minutes to fill you in, so let's get to it.
Flores and Sanchez coming forward. Flores! Oh my! What a strike! That might be your goal of the season!
That was for the Wave, the goal of the season for the Wave.
Oscar Flores gave Milwaukee the lead in the last minute against Baltimore last week, but this match is far from done. Chad Porch ties it with 9 seconds left, meaning this one needed overtime.
Led by their coach, Anua Abassi, in his 5th season. Flores! There is your hero! Oscar Flores!
Flores had 5 points in the game, including the game winner right there for the Wave as they top Baltimore 10-9 in a thriller. And Flores has been thrilling fans all campaign. He's having a rookie season for the ages. Just 24 years old, the Venezuelan has 36 points in just 22 games for Milwaukee now. This game was no less entertaining. St. Louis and San Diego, it also needed overtime.
Goals, goal! And the Sockers move into a 4-way tie for first place.
The Sockers rally from 4-1 down in the third quarter to drop St. Louis 5-4. They now have a share of first place. It wasn't all bad news for the Ambush on the weekend, though. The day before, they were in Tacoma. They grabbed 3 points as they took down the Stars 7-4 behind 2 goals from Rashad Ahmadi. That Tacoma loss meant that if Empire could win in Utica, the Strykers would qualify for the postseason. That is exactly what they did as they took down UCFC 5-3 on the road on the blue turf in Utica. That same night, Kansas City hosted Baltimore. Both teams desperate for points in the chase for first place. Lesia Thetsane was a beast for the Comets, notching 4 goals as the home side held off the Blast 8-5. And on the 20th, it was a night Utica would just love to forget. In Milwaukee, they got absolutely pumped by the Wave, 17-2. Their worst loss of the season. Ian Bennett racking up 3 points in that game. Looking at the standings as we enter the final weekend of play, it's crazy. Baltimore, Milwaukee, San Diego tied for first right now, but Kansas City and St. Louis could also get the Shield. It's going to be madness this weekend. Scoring leaders, Sanchez leading the way with 47 points, followed by Rian Marquez from KC, Super Mario Alvarez with 42 points from Milwaukee, Pereira from Baltimore with 41, Sergio Pinal with 40 from Utica. And your Capelli Players of the Week, Chris Toth between the posts for San Diego, Oscar Flores offensively from Milwaukee, and Lesia Thetsane on the defensive end from KC. Start with Flores, who just had an insane couple of games, 8 points, including, of course, the OT winner against Baltimore. 6 goals, 2 assists in 2 Wave wins. Thetsane, a defender, but man, he was getting it done offensively as well. He had goals in the Kansas City win over the Baltimore Blast. And in goal, Chris Toth was a monster in the win against St. Louis. 14 saves, a .778 save percentage. Okay, time now for your plays of the week.
Stars can't give up a goal here, and they do. Torrealba with nearly the dagger.
Sanchez coming forward. Flores! Oh my! What a strike!
Here's a one-on-one opportunity. Tayu lays off for Mendoza. He pockets it. There's Nani Mendoza. Timey with Frank Tayu.
As there's a shot in the top corner. Thereson Gratterall has one from distance. It's 3-1 Empire.
And the Wave's going to need a big game from Willie Vanaheny today.
Oh, what a great move there. Kavan Fader and the Janakam native puts it home. Back to Silla. Now across, a header. Goal! It is Mello from Silla. And the Blast. Goal! Goal! Led by their coach, Anua Abasi, in his 5th season. Flores! There is your hero! Oscar Flores caps it off. Milwaukee wins it 10-9 in overtime.
And that's all the time we've got for today. But just a reminder, all throughout the season, to stay up to date with everything that's going on in the Major Arena Soccer League, be sure to check out the league's official social media outlets. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Today in America, 11 million children are living in poverty, in desperate need of food, academic support, and stable housing. Children who face staggering challenges, and who are more likely to experience health problems and fall behind in school. But there is hope. At Hope Through Housing, we are lives. We provide children with the support they need to dream, learn, and break the cycle of poverty. Your gift today can make a world of difference in the life of a child.
I'm so excited.
Buenos dias.
we are bred to be storytellers.
Welcome to Inland Edition, conversations working to make the Inland Empire a better place.
Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. Subscribe today to MASL TV on YouTube. You'll find game rebroadcasts, MASL shows, highlights, and more. 2-1, getting ready to start the third quarter here. My name's Christian Philly filling in alongside the coach, Artie Kyrell. St. Louis playing extremely well these first 2 quarters, out shooting the Strikers by a narrow margin, 8-7, leading 2-1. Just want to recognize all the Ambush fans tuning in particular the owner, Shelly Clark, who is in Ecuador with Amelia, and we want to just say God bless to you and the family, and congratulations on a successful season for the Ambush. All the best to you and the family, and potentially we'll see you in the playoffs, depending on how this one turns out.
Yeah, a lot on the line, a lot of game to play here, Philly. Pretty exciting day here at the MASL. Some good scores all across the board. I'm not going to say anything about the score down south, but it's exciting.
Every day is exciting when you get to watch indoor soccer, the fastest and the greatest show on turf. I know, that was a moniker reserved for the 99 St. Louis Rams. But in particular, in St. Louis, plenty of fans that don't care about that, which is why we steal it and make it part of our game. Williamson, who had himself a great defensive opportunity, presence, and a goal kick saved by Orozco as Murshad Ahmadi tried to find his second goal of the game. Pass comes into Shalier. Shalier loses it to Williamson as he goes back to Nascimento. Artie, you've been a coach in this league, in particular for the Ontario Fury. If you are Robert Palmer, what are you telling your side at the half?
Just exactly what Coach said at halftime, and that is, get back onto their game. They've allowed St. Louis to kind of dictate the tempo. The one part that I wouldn't agree too much with is, he said that the officials are influencing the game. Oh, double touch here.
And we have an indoor faux pas. For the audience at home, why don't you explain that?
So each sequence that started, the goalkeeper gets one touch of the ball without the opposing team getting a touch on the ball. In this case, Puello had a touch. They kept possession. Fury did not get a touch. He played it again, so now they have a top of the arc. There's a great opportunity for them. They've got to really capitalize here.
Reyes into Fabian, smashes it off the wall. De Leon scores! George De Leon with the equalizer. The worm finesses it through. We are now tied at 2-2.
I told you earlier in the broadcast, Philly, George De Leon can shoot it. He can hit it. He's a marksman, and that's what he did. He was a specialist for the set piece. Big mistake by the Ambush, and George made him pay. Just drilled it. Just absolutely hammered it. I mean, that's what George brings, and it's good to see him in the lineup regularly, and he's getting points. So
George De Leon absolutely slices through. 7th year in the MASL. He's had a couple of stints playing for the Empire Fury. Previously with the Outlaws, played at Midwestern State University, U.S. Futsal, U.S. Arena Soccer. He loves Los Angeles. He loves Southern California. He loves the Inland Empire, and the Inland Empire loves him after that equalizer. Barely 2 minutes into the start of the third quarter, we got ourselves a tie game.
He's got a good fan base here, too. He's had a lot of private trainings, and the kids absolutely love him. I know some of the kids from my previous club loved working with George, and they're here tonight to watch the game and support him. Does great stuff for the community.
Pass comes in as Williamson levitates in the air. Chavez headed out by Eske. Torrealba back heels it into Falzone. The whistle is blown. Mario Falzone out of Edinburgh, Scotland. University of Illinois, Springfield. Played in the UPSL and USL2. Springfield FC, he was their top scorer.
So Ambush coming out with just a couple of mental errors to start the game. A little concerning for Coach Locker, I'm sure. You got to come out sharp and quick. And, I've said it before, when the ref blows the whistle, the train's left the station. And right now, the Ambush got to pick up and catch that train.
As the Quad City DJs in the 90s famously said, come and ride the train. This is the MASL train. Tied at 2, 4 goals thus far. Action-packed. Gratterall with Torrealba directly in front of him. That's 2 players on the turf here from Venezuela. Venezuela has produced some really nice athletes when it comes to soccer for that part. David Martinez at LAFC has had a great year, and country of Venezuela just recently won the World Baseball Classic, defeating the United States. So despite all the hardships that Venezuela has faced over the past couple of years, sports-wise, things look pretty good for them. As that one comes off of Hernandez, back over to Briggs. Christian Briggs in his 6th year at St. Louis. Ball is loose. Nascimento smashes it into the crowd. Top of the arc restart is what everybody wants to see, and you could see how many fans are invested in this game. You could see how many fans understand the rules of this game, because I took a look at that bottom corner from our perspective. Everybody's given that top of the arc restart motion that the official would have for his hand signal.
So that's 3 clear mistakes in less than about 3.5 minutes here in the second half.
Can the Empire punish the ambush? It's Reyes. Is he going to go to his right to De Leon? Over to Stinson. Stinson shoots. And Nascimento making the save. Curves that in to Randy Martinez. Martinez on the run, trying to find Falzone as he trips that one up. Perez off the wall into Stinson. Here's a 2-on-2 now with Fabian. Stinson's going to put on the brakes. Back over to Marco. Fabian against Williamson. He fires it right into Williamson. Looked like it touched Marco's hands, and that's what the referees are going to indicate. Williamson is playing stellar defense, denying Marco of a clear look.
Yeah, I mean, touched his hand. That was hand, elbow, wrist, forearm.
Yeah, I mean, we're practically playing team handball here. I get it. By the way, a very cool sport to be a spectator for. I don't understand the rules, but team handball is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love that game, actually. I love that game. So, I mean, you know, right now, St. Louis has, like I said, catch the train. You know, they're in a situation where they potentially will get, you know, top 2 seed, have everything at home for the most part until the final. So, you know, they've got to move on to it, and you know, again with the Fury, they've got to continue to play, and you know they've done that. They've come out on the front foot here in the second half. So we'll see what happens.
The Comets and the Sockers are in overtime, tied at 4. What a crazy Sunday this is turning out to be in the MASL.
Regulation wins is going to come into play across the board here for stuff.
We won't know what the story is until, well, at the conclusion of this game anyway. We're trying to focus on this one as Shalier shoots it in off the wall with Steven Chavez getting his way past the defender into Palmer. Palmer into Gratterall. Gratterall with Amadi in front of him directly. Rashad already with a goal today. Gratterall tries to find a Walla scenario for Shalier, picked up by O'Keefe. O'Keefe, who came into the Outlaws by way of the Dallas Sidekicks out of Buffalo, New York. 4th year in the MASL. Came in as a rookie with the Heat. And he's been around. All conference at Buffalo State, and I would have known that Buffalo State produces some stellar athletic talent for soccer. I mean, between O'Keefe, Williamson, that's 2 players on the ambush. Buffalo to St. Louis. As Lawal gets pushed off by Williamson. No call there. Counterattack opportunity here for the ambush. Lawal practically had a chokehold applied onto St. Louis. I think that was Ozzy. There's a shot smashed off the wall by Togba. I'm going to talk about a player in the league who's got a great first touch. It is Togba. If you go to his Instagram handle, there's a video of him not only taking a touch, there's a pass. We're talking 3 lengths of the quarter of the field, and he doesn't get a boot on it. He gets a booty on it. It's an incredible first touch. I got to show that to you at some point in the break. Head on over to James Togba's Instagram. It's very entertaining. Williamson, under 9 minutes to go, connects with Nascimento. Powerful Paulo pounces it into that left side, trying to find Esque. Esque pushes Andy Reyes. And Esque's got a word for the official, but directly in front of the referee. Can't push Andy Reyes. Andy Reyes wasn't trying to draw or attract the foul, but Esque got 2 hands on him. We play on. Zaha tries to connect with Mansoure, and there is Perez Perez hungry for that 14th goal of the season. A back heel from Mansouri. That's going to go into the net. Goalkeeper restart for St. Louis.
This game's starting to crank up just a little bit here. Teams are trying to impose themselves. St. Louis seems to have weathered it, got back on track. Fury still trying to press a little here.
You're not as hesitant about mentioning the name of the team wearing the black and the red. Very proud of you.
Well, you know, I do have a weighted advantage of having Fury on the brain for a couple of reasons.
You could tell who's been working for this organization as long as they have. As there's a save by Orozco denying Torrealba. You and I rolled in here with Fury gear. And I think you and I were the only ones that officially and technically on staff that rolled in with Fury gear. Plenty of people that are new in this organization that, oh, and Liz Aguilon, actually, for that matter. Stinson hits the deck. O'Keefe on the run. He's got Machad to the left, Torrealba to the right. Shalir gets in the way, and he cleans it up. That's going to come into Gates. Gates, the rookie out of St. Louis, Missouri, played for Loyola Chicago before going on over to Lindenwood University. A legacy player, as his father played with the original Ambush back in the 93 through 96 season. Love to see that. Legacies in the indoor game. Not something we can lay a lot of claim to. Megson for Tacoma was somebody who we could say that about, but we haven't seen the elegant assassin in a minute. Machad, slide tackle, but Stinson still with it. Stinson pushes Machad off, and that's going to be a foul.
All that, and it's a handball they call.
And that too, yeah. Despite all the activity, it was just a mere handball. Things getting physical here at Toyota Arena.
Father and son, you certainly have to mention the Toth family.
There, oh, of course. I was waiting for you on that one. And that's going to hit off of St. Louis into the net. It's going to be a corner kick restart, but we are going to head into immediate timeout. 7:02 remaining here in the third quarter. This game is tied at 2. Folks, you're watching the Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV. Don't you dare go anywhere.
One, two, three, let's go. I see you staring, but don't want no smoke. I hear you talking, but I'm here for the show. Don't get it twisted, baby, I snatch souls. If you murder, she roll. 1, 2, 3, let's go. I see you staring, but don't want no smoke. I hear you talking, but I'm here for the show. Don't get it twisted, baby, I snatch souls. If you murder, she roll. 1, 2, 3, let's go. I see you staring, but don't want no smoke. I hear you talking, but I'm here for the show.
For 30 years, National Corps has been transforming lives, building communities where our residents and neighbors can thrive, and providing homes for your Empire Strykers. Affordable, high-quality, secure housing. National Corps, home of the Empire Strykers.
When your heart needs a helping hand, you want the best, most advanced treatment available. We know there's strength and expertise. That's why for over 50 years, we've been a trusted provider of heart and vascular care in the region, specializing in minimally invasive surgical techniques, from treating infants born with heart defects to performing complex endovascular procedures. Our specialists are here to support strong, healthy hearts. Loma Linda University International Heart Institute. Many strengths, one mission.
Kick restart for the Strykers here with 7:02 remaining in the third quarter. Empire looking for a lead. Both teams playing each other very compact. De Leon wide open right in front of Reyes. Stinson in the box. Stinson just outside of the box. Perez in it. Fabian wide open with nobody marking him as Eske gets involved in that pass that was trying to find its way into Stinson. Orozco claims it, connects with De Leon, who had the equalizer moments ago. You're wondering why I referred to him as the Worm. Well, head on over to MASLsoccer.com, as it's your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. His nickname, as per MASLsoccer.com, is the Worm.
So looking at that, well, let's see what happens here. But that set piece was a little forecasting. Looking at the way St. Louis organized, if they get another one like that for the Strikers, I would look for that ball to go to George and then cut flat to Fabian to his right peg. Frankly, I thought that was what's going to happen on the last one, but just something to put in the books there for Coach Berto next time around.
I'm not one that can multitask very well, so the ability to play and coach blows my mind, because I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. I can't read and call a game at the same time. Which is why I write all my notes, and I know many of you who follow me and this league have seen my posts about me sharing my notes. I write them because it helps me commit it to memory. Multitasking is not easy. The official blowing the whistle as Lawal was on the floor, quickly getting up.
Berto's been a player coach for a while, Philly.
I mean, yeah, that's fair too.
He just has the title now. But he just took one, Lawal took one off the dome there.
5:51 remaining here in the third quarter. How we got to the 24th game of the season is wild. And speaking of wild games, San Diego winning in overtime. So they're going to keep a close eye on this game. Not sure if St. Louis is fully well aware of what the story is. And we're just getting note that we are in attendance, 7,861. which is our largest crowd at Toyota Arena this season. Shout out to all the fans that came through. Strikers on the run. It is Perez with O'Keefe. Gratterall wide open. Gratterall still sticking with it, getting pushed and ping-ponged off the ball into Mansoret. Does something that not a lot of people do, and that's get by Williamson. But yeah, just a couple numbers shy of 8,000. Thank you, Empire Nation, and anybody who's come through today. Very historic game from an attendance perspective, from the fact that there was an MASL women's game here, and there's a timeout on the field.
So just the magnitude of this moment, still third quarter, free kick on the edge. Like I said before, the way that St. Louis set up last time, they could have played that little dink and got that back defender maybe to bite and that flat ball across. So well, interesting to see what they pull up here. But again, a big moment. Set pieces have played a big role in tonight's game. Because I mean, Fury's got they've got some sharpshooters on that. I didn't notice a left footer out there on that one. But they can hit it.
Some sharp shooters wearing some sharp jerseys, and that being the case, Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com to shop the all-new MASL fan store for the latest MASL and team gear. And if you're loving this game, ladies and gentlemen, get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. And if you want more, we always want more. Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV, on YouTube, and CBS Sports Golasso Network. Alex Bashchavansky and my Queens homeboy, Phil Ivanko, are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. So with the San Diego result, only a regulation win can get St. Louis the shield. Anything else, and it's the Sockers. St. Louis has everything to play for. And Ambush Nation, if you're sitting at home watching this TV screen, or if you're in the building right here, your Ambush have a chance to make history today.
Craziness. I think with the Strikers win, they book Milwaukee Wave for Thursday, I believe.
So here on the restart, it is Stinson, 5:09 remaining, 2-2. Opts to go to Reyes, backheeled from Stinson. Over to Andy. Andy spins past his defender, Falzone, as he's hanging on to Reyes. Reyes being a Tasmanian devil in that left corner. Finds Stinson, under 5 to go here in the third quarter. Can the Strikers break up this equalizer? Fabian shoots it, does not get the direction that he does, and that takes a bounce off of Reyes into the net. It's going to be ambush ball.
took a little longer than what I thought, but ultimately the ball found Fabian on that top arc there for the shot. So I think they'd be somewhat satisfied with the end result of that set piece. Obviously, they'd like a goal, but just to kind of, you know, in the world of affirmations, just put things out there to come about, and next one comes for you.
As that bounces back into Orozco's paws, Palmer finally getting a little lull in the action here. I mean, the strikers in the ambush get a chance to catch a breath, and so do you and I. So that 50-50 ball was won by Eske. Tried to find John Gates. Gates slipped up a little bit. Little case of the turf monster.
Just here comes the focus part, right? When Coach Bordeaux was talking about, you know, you got to stay dialed in, stay committed to your game plan. You know, obviously, you know, nothing's really changed for St. Louis other than they would tie, you know, they would get the title on the tiebreaker. But they want to, you know, they still want to push, they still want to go.
For the Strikers, sorry, the Fury faux pas it again. They're going to stay in 6, so they're going to get the 3rd seed one way or another. Chalier, that bounces off of Briggs. Ball is loose. Zaha headed out by Eske. Oye madre, soy amigo. What a game we've had thus far. Was that a conversation killer there, Artie? You didn't say anything. I thought you had something to say about that.
No, I got caught up watching that little entry pass to Chalier.
You're not supposed to get caught ball washing. You are a broadcaster. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm still a fan, bro.
Of course we are. This is the greatest sport. I'm happy that there's nearly 8,000 people in this building. Look at the pass. Chalier trying to find Perez. The point is, we want this game to grow. This game is amazing. It is intense. Sometimes the transition going from a viewership of indoor to outdoor makes it tough. I'm going to say I watched the LAFC Austin game about a week ago, and for the first half, it was a snooze fest. All I wanted was blue cards, boards, and multiple goals. It is so hard sometimes going back to watching outdoor after catching indoor play at its highest level, and we have it here in the Major Arena Soccer League. Make no mistake of it, this is the highest level of this beautiful sport.
I love every touch of every game of any game of this game. Indoor or outdoor. Just the little things these guys do.
Hernandez in the Stinson. Strikers are going to get to reset here. We're approaching 120 ticks of the game clock left here in the 3rd quarter. Stinson chips it off the wall to Hernandez. Hernandez chests it in, connects to himself in the box. And Torrealba pokes it away. The ambush on the run. Togba through ball. Martinez.
What a save.
And I think Orozco got his hands on it. That was a valiant effort and a near opportunity. Let's see that replay again. Santana through ball. And yes, from that angle, it absolutely came off of Orozco. When we saw it during the run of play, we couldn't tell.
You doubt me, Philly?
Yes, from time to time. I'm just kidding. I never doubt you. I didn't see it. Not to say that if I didn't see it, it doesn't happen, but the officials are going to tell us a little something, so we're going to shut our mouth.
St. Louis is challenging for a handball on the goalie outside the box. The call on the field was no handball.
Yeah, I didn't see a handball.
I didn't see a handball either. It looked like it came off of Orozco's chest, but we've been known to be wrong, and I am confident enough in myself to acknowledge when I make a mistake. So let's take a look at that again.
I believe it's the attachment point of the sartorius muscle, which runs down the leg. Proven correct by that call, I believe.
I am sorry, the what?
Yeah, that's the attachment point of the sartorius.
Spell it.
S-A-R.
I'm kidding. I don't need you to spell it. I mean, from that angle, no. Absolutely no handball there. No. I mean, you want to talk about definitive? That's as definitive as it gets.
And thankful, because if that ball were a couple inches south, Brian Orozco would have made a great save and a significant impact on his body.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. There's no handball on the goalkeeper.
And there you heard it from the officials themselves. No handball. And so St. Louis now loses their challenge flag, but Empire doesn't have one either. So now we are at a stalemate when it comes to that. Minute 54 left. Can this game get any closer?
No. And we're at the mercy of the officials now for any call. I mean, the officials can call for a review, but other than that, it's going to have to be pretty blatant. So we'll see what happens. I mean, the game on. You know, and you can kind of see the tension here, you know, when you're playing for national championships, going into big games like this. It's very important that players understand that the game is still the game. You know, and you can't play the magnitude of it, and you focus on the technique and the tactics of your game plan. But you can kind of see right now players are getting a little tight and not wanting to make a mistake.
O'Keefe.
Except maybe O'Keefe. That fella's going a million miles an hour wherever he is, whenever he is.
Yeah, poor O'Keefe certainly took a shot right there from Mansoret, it looked like.
Oh, that's a player that works hard, huh?
Both players, for that matter. So much to play for, and this is a great example as to why we love this incredible sport of indoor soccer. Cleaned up by Mansoret, poked away from Williamson into Eske. That's not the man you want to see with the ball, and Eske! Chilly Willy chilling down this crowd as the ambush take a lead. It is now 3-2.
Yeah, I was just going to make comment of how, you know, Berto's kind of mastering the bump. We win the ball there, but Mansoret has that giveaway. And, you know, we talked about it earlier. You know, when you get to this level of the game, these youngsters have to understand the last component of possession, Philly, is dictating where you lose the ball. You know, you can't hold on to this notion that you want to connect all these things, but you have to understand if you lose the ball, where you're going to lose it. And simple and easy, if he just bypasses that next line and the ball rolls into the corner and we're still there. So there's lessons here for these youngsters to learn. And, well, not youngsters, but, you know, for new to the playoffs. So we'll see what happens going forward now. Now it's on for the Fury. The Fury must strike for a goal.
The lesson is don't leave William Eske open because he is going to punish you. That is his 14th goal of the season, and we're under a minute to go. Another chance almost threaded through. That would have silenced this crowd heavily. Gratterall sticking with it. Still sticking with it to Shalier. Fabian was open. Shalier missed him. Back over to Perez. Perez has been known to score a goal late at the expiration of quarters. Shalier into Perez. Perez smacks it off the wall. Shalier just can't get enough on it. The turf monster got to Shalier. 20 seconds remaining. Williamson gonna milk the clock going into Nascimento. Paulo progressing it forward. Has O'Keefe open to the left. Comes off of Gratterall and Amati's head. Gratterall has it. Fabian. And the official blows the whistle with 7/10 of a second left.
We saw there on the counter, Philly, on the defending side, the ambush player got on the wrong shoulder. And those are the things in the film room they're going to have to iron out and make sure don't happen moving forward, because on that wrong shoulder, he gave away a 2v1 on that edge. So a lot of things to work on, a lot of things to see. But this is why I love every single touch of this game, Philly.
Fabian into the breadbasket of Paulo, and we are heading into the fourth quarter. Can the ambush do something historic tonight, or will the Fury spoil their party and give their home crowd a much-deserved win? A little less than 8,000 in attendance. They didn't come here to see an ambush celebration. They came here to see the Fury win, but can the Fury give the crowd what they need? Stick around and find out. 15 more minutes of action here on the greatest show on turf, the Major Arena Soccer League.
Funding for this program is presented by September's Tap Room and Eatery. More information at septembers.com.
Are you looking for inspiration? The FYI podcast shares powerful stories from people like NFL Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson, Gabrielle Walsh, star of NBC's hit show, Bound. You'll learn all about mindset and what it takes to navigate, overcome, and persevere through any challenges that life puts in front of you. If you're ready to be inspired, subscribe to the Finding Your Inspiration podcast.
Stay connected with the Empire Strykers all season long by downloading the official Empire Strykers app. From score and schedules to tickets and team updates, it's the easiest way to stay in the game. So don't wait. Download the Empire Striker app now by scanning the QR code and never miss a moment of the action. Don't forget to show your Strikers pride by shopping the official Empire Strykers team store. From jerseys and hats to the latest team gear, everything you need to represent your favorite team is now available. Visit the team store online and gear up for the best for the rest of the season. Stay connected with the Empire Strykers all season long by following the team on social media. Get the latest news, behind-the-scenes content, highlights, and updates all in one place. Follow the Empire Strykers on social media and stay part of the action. And action there is today, Philly.
So much action. Ambush fans, are you ready for the final quarter of what could be the most historic season of the Ambush in the modern MASL era? Strykers fans, are you ready for a party spoiler? Folks, are you tuning into this game, and are you ready for what should be a fantastic conclusion of the final game of the season? We're all ready. We're all on the edge of our seats. 15 minutes to declare a winner, 15 minutes to dictate the final playoff positioning, and we are underway. It's been so close. From shots, both teams are even. The only difference being the fact that the Ambush have one more goal than the Strykers. And that almost changed as Fabian just narrowly missed the bottom left corner.
So that's a question mark here. Philly, third quarter and now fourth quarter. St. Louis coming out a little slow, a little lethargic. Strikers are going to make you pay. Definitely going to make you pay. A little role reversal this week, or this game. St. Louis struggling in the early part of the quarter and scoring late, where the Strykers are usually the team. You got me. The Fury is the team that usually scores later in the quarter.
I was going to say, what happened there? You spasmed. Oh boy, this has been a lot of fun. I can't believe this is the final game of the regular season. I can't believe we're already to this point. This is the shortest full season and the longest off season. But we still have so much more action in this quarter, and we still have a postseason ahead of us. Folks, for those making us a part of your Sunday fun day, I just want to say thank you so much. I'll thank you again at the end of this broadcast. I'm just saying this here right now because I am nervous. I have no more nails. I'm about ready to chomp on my cuticles, and I know everybody at home is as well. This has been such a close, compact game, and we'll see who comes out victorious. SK, Chili Willy, who had the go-ahead goal here. We see Orozco coming in and out of the box. The touch from Shalier. Shalier and Torrealba. Williamson. Shalier has it. It's going to go back to Orozco. Or towards Orozco. Orozco can't touch it. Hernandez. Hearing chants of Here We Go Strykers. This capacity crowd of 7,861 that have come through. Intercepted by Eske. Zaha pokes it away. Into the right. Torrealba. Back to Chili Willy. Eske's been a part of the success of this Ambush team, the resurgence, I guess you can say. Eske's such an important part of St. Louis and its success. Torrealba trying to get by Lawal, and Lawal's going to get called for a foul.
Yeah, I think if he would have just turned and ran, but he clearly turned and pinned the wall, drawing the foul. Torrealba's a smart player. He's gonna pull that every day.
So one way or another, the Strykers are going to host a playoff game on Thursday at 6:35 Pacific Standard Time. The only thing we don't know is who their opponent's going to be. And Stinson hits the deck hard. It's going to be a blue card. Tarjeta azul on Falsone, and he's adamant that that wasn't the case. But Artie, you and I are up here. Stinson went directly into the MGR property management sign. That was a loud thump.
I just said Torrealba was going to pull that foul, and Justin right there pulled it, and guess what? There's no more challenges. So, again.
And from that angle, it didn't seem as bad, but
It results in a 5v4 power play.
All right, so for the Strykers, they're 22% on the power play. So they haven't exactly been tops of the league when it comes to converting on power plays. And as far as the ambush are concerned, 65% on the penalty kill. So the advantage, I'd have to say, favors Empire here, as they have a little more comfortability with having the man advantage. But obviously, and with the stakes so high, anything can happen. It is now deafening in this building. If you hear me talking louder, it's because I could barely hear myself through the cans. Reyes, Stinson, De Leon musters it, blocked by Williamson. Gates has it, nowhere to go. Fabian takes it, collects it, connects with Stinson in the midfield. 30 seconds into this power play. Strykers are looking for their first attempt. Fabian fires it just to the upper right of the crossbar. No ding-dong there. Shout out to my good friend Nick Vasos. The pass over to Stinson. Stinson into Reyes. Reyes with a little bit of space. Into Fabian. Marco into De Leon. 60 seconds nearly expire here within this power play. Reyes backheels it into Stinson. Fabian fires it, nearly scores. Ball is loose, headed out by Mashad. What a play, a diving header.
Getting some good looks for the Fury. Just continue to move the ball.
Reyes, Stinson. Pink hair and all into Perez. Perez fires it into Williamson. Williamson is a big body. 30 seconds remaining on this power play. Reyes, Stinson. Can the Strykers find their way through? Fabian. This crowd hungry for a goal. 20 seconds in the power play. Into Reyes. Reyes trying to attract as many defenders on him as possible to free up all the other players. 10 seconds. Fabian. De Leon. Are we hanging on at the edge of our seats for something? The power play is done. The penalty kill. And Stinson came close to getting intercepted by Falzone. Excellent penalty kill for the ambush. I think the call was more exciting than the actual power play it was itself. Bodies are down. No whistle. And finally, we have a stoppage in play with 10:26 remaining.
It's getting exciting, getting a little chippy out there. Look at Marco trying to get his group fired up by standing up. Love it, love it.
This is how indoor soccer should be, in front of an almost capacity crowd. The upper bowls, you don't see it on your television screens, but I'm looking down, and the upper bowls directly in front of us are packed. I think we're loud enough to where the fans are saying hello to us. That's kind of cool. That doesn't happen all the darn time. But yeah, 7,861, regardless of sold versus given, concessions are there. This is a great crowd, and the more eyes that are on this sport, the better. Santana, Ozzy. Turf came up for a second. Ozzy, right into the hands of Orozco. Orozco tried to make his move, pump faked everybody, including the broadcasters. Less than 10 to go.
That little pop-up right there, kind of saving grace for the Fury-ikers.
What? Fury-ikers? You're coming up with new words for the dictionary and new teams. I so badly want to call a denial on that one. You're having too much fun, so I'll give it to you. Zaha into Paulo.
To Santana, because that ball popped up a little bit. He couldn't get a good rip on that. So, you know, it was kind of a little harmless strike. Otherwise, that left peg of his was going to whip it.
Crazy to believe that Paulo's been in this league for 7 years. I still remember back when he was MASL honorable mention a couple years before COVID even hit. Obviously, coming out of Brazil, you come out of the womb with a futsal background. You can't be from Brazil and not have some experience with futsal. Chavez and Falzone cleaned up by Chavez. Mansoret with an opportunity. Mansoret on the run. Still sticking with it. That's got to be a blue card. And it is on Togba. Denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. That's got to be a dog show.
Definitely I believe a wise man said you got to be aware of shoulders and defending the proper shoulder, and you just kind of saw it here. We just got caught. You know, just got caught.
We stand by for the official's verdict.
St. Louis blue card on number 66 for a trip. The play results in a shootout.
Shootout. Because it was a goal-scoring situation for Philly now, the Fury get an opportunity to go. If they have 5 seconds from the yellow line to score, they can get as many chances as they can within those 5 seconds. In this situation, it's Justin. They'll take this kick. If it's a goal, they'll start with the kickoff. If it's not, they restart with goalkeeper possession.
Stinson and Paolo. Is it going to be Paolo? Is it going to be Stinson? We're all on the edge of our seats here. The Stinger on a roll, and he scores! Justin Stinson with the equalizer. 15th goal of the season. 3-3. Both teams.
You know, both teams were given an opportunity to score. You know, the ambush had the penalty, and now we had the shootout. So both teams put it away. Guess what? 3-3. Everybody puts away their chances. The game stays level, and the game's level.
I almost made a mistake. It said 3-3 Strikers. What a schmuck I would have sounded like if I did say that. Quickly, the emergency break goes on. 8:53. We're tied. Oh, boy, what a game.
Don't you mean the Strykers?
All right, listen, I'm not going to let you get away with that twice. That's a penalty right there. Tarjeta Azul assessed to Artie Kyrell.
I'm still up +5.
You're probably up +12. Jeez.
So game on, 8 minutes.
Regulation win is what the ambush are looking for. And Hernandez, his expression indicates that was a cheap foul assessed to him. I'm going to reserve my judgment as St. Louis has the ball on the restart with 8:35 remaining in the fourth quarter. It is Mashad. We've called his name a number of times. Him coming into Toyota Arena. Torrealba.
We just have two teams battling for different perspectives, right? I mean, St. Louis is playing to be the top team, and the Strikers are playing to say, you're not going to do it on my floor in my house. So, you know, you talked about it earlier, the competitive nature of a professional athlete, and we're seeing it right in front of us.
Fabian trying to clear some space. Marco! Marco! Goal! Marco with the go-ahead. The Strikers lead the ambush. It is now 4-3.
So the question you have to ask yourself, somewhat of Marco's ability, when you take that, you can kind of see he was going to bend it the whole time. You could tell by his body language he was going to bend it. So now the question is, was he bending it to go to frame, or was he bending it for the knock-in? Look at him. See, look, he sees them. Look at little boop. Again, ask yourself, that dude's got some skills, bro. Look at this. Eyes up, little bend, knock-in.
That is the 11th goal of the season for Marco Fabian, and all things considered.
Chalier with the goal?
Chalier had the contact.
No,
okay.
He knocked it home. Knocked it home. That's what I was saying.
Oh, my apologies. I thought Marco, okay, all right, I stand corrected. So Chalier's going to get his first goal for the Empire, but either way, Marco really created that opportunity.
100%. And again, my question is, was that a shot on frame, or did he see him and bend it to him?
I thought it was a shot on frame. For Chalier, that is his first goal.
I would say I would agree with you, but if you look at his body structure, his frame as he struck it, and his follow-through, because to bend the ball into the goal, generally there's the follow-through to get that tight spin, so it definitely tucks in, but he didn't tuck it in. He just kind of floated it in. I don't know, man. Either way, great goal.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like I blew out my larynx for Marco, apparently now for no reason. Either way, the Strikers have the lead. 7 goals scored in this contest. Williamson, look at the footwork into Falzone. Look at the defense by Palmer, denying Falzone. That ball is loose. Picked up by Zaha, cleans it, clears it into Stinson. Stinson trying to get it by Togba. Look, I saw something on social media just the other day where some fan, I'm not going to indicate who their name is, made the comment that Marco Fabian is overrated. Probably about the silliest thing I've seen on social media. And Lou, we've seen a lot of silly things on social media when it comes to the MASL, but Fabian creates opportunities, and Fabian has been an important part of the growth of this league, be it from his play on the field to us getting Fox Sports on Mexico's broadcast. Marco Fabian has been integral in the growth of the indoor game and obviously making an impact in today's game itself.
I said it less than 5 minutes ago that I love the indoor game, I love the outdoor game, just because of every single touch these guys do. And we saw Zaha here with a little flick up and knockout to clear defensively. And
we have a 4-foul blue card on Ontario, which results for a 5v4 power play.
Yeah, we talked about that in the first half with Berto when he had 2 quick fouls in the half. I'm not sure who this foul is. If this foul was on the last one, was it Justin? So let's see who goes over the ball. Yeah, it's Justin. So this is Justin's 4th foul. So now you've got the power play. But at the end of the day, it's such nonsense to say he's over. You know, when you can play out, you can, put the things that he's done on the floor, especially the last 3 games where he's free and he's kind of playing and influencing and given the opportunity to influence. I mean, he's good.
All right, folks, media timeout here. 7:07 remaining, 4-3. Stick around. Still anybody's game here at Toyota Arena.
National Core, proud to partner with your Empire Strykers. On the field, in the community, we defend the Empire. Sign up for our free soccer clinics and meet your favorite striker. Community, passion, this is your Empire.
With 6 calls, wrong with 6 break, we're on.
Again, all the fans tuning in here in the arena, but listen, a big shout out to the fans at the Post Sports Bar and Grill in Lake St. Louis watching. We thank you so much. Hopefully y'all are on the edge of your seat the same way we are. Actually, I just lied to you. I'm not sitting down. I'm standing up and pacing because I don't know how anybody can sit down unless they are on the edge of their seat. This is absolutely bonkers. This is nerve-wracking time. This is where anxiety comes into fruition. This is where pharmaceutical companies start to make a couple of bucks.
You know, in coaching, we call it situational coaching, giving players exact situations where we are in the game and to finish it. Right now, the situational coaching for St. Louis is we're down a goal, 7 minutes to play. We need 2 goals to win the Shield. So he's starting with the power play. So exciting time. Not a good start.
Mansoret clips it past Machad. He's got Perez sprinting to his right side. Mansoret assessing things. Mansoret denied by Paulo. Briggs gets in the way. Ball is loose, recovered by Perez, and that's going to be a whistle. It's going to be ambush ball. 6:49 remaining in the 4th quarter. Quick restart in from Machad to Torrealba. Torrealba with nobody in front of him is going to do something that we haven't had the opportunity to do in the last couple of minutes, and that's casually move forward.
St. Louis has 2 opponents right now. Philly, they've got the clock as well as the score.
Machad in Esque. You can see the eye of the tiger on this ambush front. That pass into Torrealba. playing a little bit of that Strykers ball when they utilized the sixth attacker, Mashad. Not Mashad, Mashad. Mashad and Mashad. And Mashad, oh gosh, I'm getting tongue twisted saying that. Cleaned up regardless by the Strykers. Mashad Ahmadi, Jeff Mashad, I mean, not that many players that you can say have that close tie to their name enunciations.
So we talked about...
Briggs saved by Orozco!
Just good decisions from the Fury. Allen clearing the line there when Brian was out. Improvement from what we talked about earlier where they needed to improve, so good moment here.
Mashad up above the net. And listen, I also want to shout out the soccer fans at Paula Starlight Lounge, sticking around to watch and root for the Strykers. We got San Diego Sockers fans tuning in, rooting for the Strykers. Dogs and cats living together. To quote Bill Murray in Ghostbusters, mass hysteria.
That's a sight. Take photos.
Oh, keep that one in your memory banks. Eske tripped up. Lawal off the wall, still sticking with it near the wall. Stoppage in play. Oh boy, you and I are going to absolutely have to utilize some halls after all the screaming and shouting we've had to do today. Eske advancing it. Torrealba calling for it on the left side. He's got Jeff Mashad wide open. Into Briggs. Briggs in that corner. Bounces it near wall. A score opportunity. And Orozco with the denier. Eske's shot. Too much mustard on it. Put it on a hot dog to the fence just behind the goal net. It's going to be a goalkeeper restart for Empire.
If they kept it in line, though, they could have kept that defending group on the floor longer. But because of the free kick coming out or goalkeeper possession, they get to make the changes. St. Louis now has got a little higher uphill climb to win that shield.
Taken away by Ahmadi. And that comes off of the heels of Berto Palmer. Under 5 to go.
I imagine the San Diego bar right now when time stands still. It's got to be crazy.
San Diego looking to add to that hardware collection. St. Louis wanting to have a piece themselves. Either way, teams are going to head to the bench. It looks like we got a timeout here with 4:45 remaining. Artie, how in the heck did we already get to the final game of the season? But more importantly, how do we get to this moment? Let's take a look at what just transpired, by the way.
This great save from Brian. Just exit, just get started again. And then just over the top, leaning back. You know, moments like this, it's just all about, and then a great save. Great save again. The power kill group right there just did a super fantastic job. Brian came up twice there to do what he needed to do. So just super duper. The biggest thing for me watching that is those decisions on that power play are playoff decisions. Both Polo and Allen had the opportunity. Earlier in the game, they probably would have taken an extra touch and potentially losing it deep on the yellow. They just exited the pressure, allowed themselves to get composed, and then ultimately kill the power play. Those are the types of things that you've got to refine going into the playoffs, and that's what we talked about in the very beginning of the game, is how are the Strykers going to come into the moment? This is the moment. They've got to make the decisions, and they've got to get those decisions to where they become subcortical responses.
The Swedish rock band Europe, best known for that arena-shaking anthem, The Final Countdown, sold 25 million records off the heavy lifting of the song, The Final Countdown. And I say that because that's literally what we are down to, the final countdown of the regular season. We're 4 minutes and 45 seconds away from knowing exactly how the playoffs are going to be. In a season where there was only 8 teams in the MASL, I would beg to say the fact that this might have been, if not be, the most competitive season that we've seen in the MASL since the 2021 year, and there's still 4:45 remaining. Can the ambush make history? Will the Empire get that dub in front of a home crowd that is at 7,861? Will they be partying in St. Louis? Will they be partying in San Diego? We don't know. And look at the play by Polo. Eske bats it off the wall into Santana. Santana looking to try to create some splendid music. Look at the pass in. And a goal! Christian Briggs with the equalizer. That's going to silence this crowd. It is 4-4, and they are celebrating in St. Louis and Trinidad and Tobago. Briggs with the equalizer.
They're playing for the Shield, Philly, and they're stepping up like a team that wants to be the top team in the league. Coming in, what do we have, 4:27 left, equalized, jumped in, top of the arc, big, strong turn, whip it, scores a goal. Here we go. Now, you know, Baltimore and Milwaukee, who's trying to make the travel plans? They're all waiting. They pick up the phone to make the call, or get on the keyboard and look at tickets, and it just changes just right there.
Christian Briggs with the 5th goal of his season, and none more important than that goal right there.
Now's the moment for Fury to respond, right? They had the game, they had it there, they just killed the penalty, the power play. Now's the time where they've got to step up and manage this game.
4-4, 8 goals scored between these two teams. Neither team trying to concede to the other. Another example. This is a prime example as to why indoor is great. That Sockers Comets game that you just saw recently, actually the past couple of games, incredible. But here's another example, and we are so blessed to have such an incredible sport to follow. Under 4 to go. Nascimento looking for Randy Martinez. Marco Fabian getting in the way defensively, but Riley Uri bats it off the wall into Williamson. Over to Togba. Togba with the best touch in the MASL. Finds Amadi. He now has it back to him in the midfield. Two players that are known for their dribbling ability. Togba and Stinson were moments ago in front of each other. Togba's going to come off. In comes Mashad. Williamson over to the left. Connects with Martinez. 3:23 remaining here in the quarter. This game is tied at 4. Eske, if it stays tied at 4 at the end of regulation, we are heading in to overtime, which means both teams at least get a point, but not the full 3. Williamson, look at that clever maneuvering. Eske, the captain, into Williamson. Williamson to Martinez. Back over to Martinez, trying to find Yuri. And Yuri has Berto bounce off of him, and Berto's not the kind of guy that would bounce off of a player the stature of Yuri. Not to say that Yuri isn't strong, but Berto just a little bit bigger.
We're witnessing some very astute veteran moves on pulling fouls in the last 4 minutes.
That's a beautiful way of looking at it. Paulo, look at Lawal coming through. Stinson chests it, gets by O'Keefe, and he's going to get taken down. That's going to be a foul assessed to St. Louis. So no card there. Good sportsmanship between O'Keefe and Stinson. Stinson's going to come off now. Gratterall comes in. It's Fabian, Gratterall, Hernandez, De Leon, and Lawal. Mashad, Eske, O'Keefe, Gates, and Briggs in for St. Louis. Gratterall sticking with it, going to Hernandez. Polo with the goal today, contributing to the dynamic excitement that we've had. As is that player right there, De Leon. No team dominating. It's been a total team effort for both sides as we are approaching 120 ticks left of the game clock. The chip, the poke, Mashad to Eske, O'Keefe running through, and that goes right into the crowd. That miter ball is not a take-home souvenir.
St. Louis needs the regulation win to get the Shield, so they got to push just a little bit.
Folks in San Diego are clinging on to this one. Again, never would have imagined San Diego Sockers fans rooting for Empire, but hey, we'll take it. Chavez and Apollo. At the end of the day, we're all friends. We all love the indoor game, and we all love each other one way or another. Just need to be a little nicer to each other on MASL off the wall. Zaha into Hernandez. Hernandez back over to Gratterall. 1:17 remaining. Gratterall weighing in his options. Decides to go to Chavez. Chavez into Hernandez, and we have off-the-ball contact. A silly foul assessed to St. Louis, with Empire having a chance to reset now. with 71 seconds left.
Oh, boy.
Chip in to Mansoret. Mansoret getting held onto by Christian Briggs. I mean, literally holding hands. The poke. Polo almost comes through. If it wasn't for the deflection off of Briggs, we might see the go-ahead. It's Riley Yuri now, creating space. Yuri. Chavez makes the play. Under a minute to go. There is contact. Foul against the ambush. 48 seconds left before we head into OT. Oh my gosh. To quote Maximus Aurelius, are you not entertained? Zaha heads it to Perez. Shalier with space. Barbaro. Perez couldn't connect with him. Perez would have had to pull a groin to make that play. 30 seconds into Williamson. Eske wide open. Berto pulverizes that one. Shout out Jimi Hendrix. Excuse me as I kiss the sky with that belt into the boards. 22.2 seconds remaining. Togba. Zaha gets smacked by Berto. That's going to come in Apollo. Paulo. Seconds remaining for that regulation dub. Oh, and that takes a deflection into the net. Corner kick restart, 2.6 seconds. The ambush have everybody up front looking for that regulation dub, and it's going to be a timeout. All right, Coach, you've got all the permutations. I need to catch a breath and a sip of water. What happens for the ambush's chances at a shield should this game go into OT?
Well, San Diego is 2.6 seconds away from tops in the table. Period. Dot. St. Louis needs a regulation win. I mean, even if they go, they're sitting on 41. San Diego's on 44. They need the 3 to get to 44 and then go to the tiebreaker, which if they win this in regulation would give them 11 regulation wins over San Diego's 10. So this is the most important set piece probably in St. Louis history for a long time. I mean, it's for the shield here. So they're going to come up, they're going to drop something, we say it all the time, the commentators, they got to drop their best play. So what's got to happen now is they just have to simply execute the best they've executed all season long.
When I hear the word execute, so I'm a big baseball fan. I know many that listen to us are baseball fans as well. When I hear the term execute, I hearken back to a saying from the 62 Mets. Their manager, Casey Stengel, presided over, at that point, the worst baseball team in history. He was asked by a reporter what his thoughts were about the execution of his team, and he said he was in favor of it. That's not the case today with these two teams because...
Well, that might change, Philly, if they don't, quote, execute here and how they go about it,
This is so nerve-wracking. San Diego, St. Louis on the edge of their seats. For Empire fans, it's just a matter of pride and respectability. For the ambush, it's hardware, it's positioning, it's pride.
Just do the job. For the Strikers, don't bite. Don't bite on the first one. There's going to be some deception here.
There we have the overhead camera. It's Mashad. Briggs is on the far post. Eske right at the elbow. Mashad Ahmadi. Robert Williamson wearing the 6th attacker jersey, and Tori Alba. God, this is one of the best games we've seen in indoor soccer in a while. There it is. Ball is loose into Orozco, and we head into overtime.
The Empire Strykers have just given the San Diego Sockers a big gift. Congratulations, San Diego Sockers.
They are celebrating in Oceanside all the way down to Pechanga. Shout out again to the fans at Paula Starlight Lounge. Y'all sticking around. Y'all rooting for the Strikers. Heck of a season. This has been an incredible season, by the way, of the Major Arena Soccer League from top to bottom. Look, we're going to step aside for a quick break. I'm going to hydrate. You should too. When we come back, we got overtime. Golden goal or shootout. Your guess is as good as mine. Flip that coin back on the other side.
When your heart needs a helping hand, you want the best, most advanced treatment available. We know there's strength and expertise. That's why for over 50 years, we've been a trusted provider of heart and vascular care in the region, specializing in minimally invasive surgical techniques, from treating infants born with heart defects to performing complex endovascular procedures. Our specialists are here to support strong, healthy hearts. Loma Linda University International Heart Institute. Many strengths, one mission.
Today in America, 11 million children are living in poverty, in desperate need of food, academic support, and stable housing. Children who face staggering challenges and who are more likely to experience health problems and fall behind in school. But there is hope. At Hope Through Housing, we are changing lives. We provide children with the support they need to dream, learn, and break the cycle of poverty. Your gift today can make a world of difference in the life of a child.
Funding for this program is presented by September's Tap Room and Eatery. More information at septembers.com.
Here for giggles. Here for support. Here for healing. Here for courage. Here for moments. San Antonio Regional Hospital. Here for life.
Ready to start overtime, Philly. We're going into a 10-minute period here. Golden goals. So whoever scores wins. You know, the great day here. Sunday final day. Sunday fun day. Both games. You know, Comets San Diego. 4-4 goes to overtime. San Diego wins. We'll see who ultimately wins here. But definitely a congratulations to the San Diego Sockers in the Shield. And you know, as a fan of the game, congratulations to Mr. Childs. His final season, going out on top of the Supporters Shield. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy, more well-deserving guy at the end of the day. So congratulations, Sockers and Craig Childs.
I have nothing but love for Craig Childs, one of the most outstanding players we've seen in the sport and an absolute gentleman.
100%.
Looks like at this rate it's going to be San Diego and Baltimore with the bye, and then it looks like the Strykers, the way I'm seeing things, it'll be the Milwaukee Wave on Thursday.
Correct.
Oh boy, that's going to be a big game for both teams. Oh, I can't believe we're at the playoffs. More importantly, I'm really thrilled that this isn't the final time you and I are calling a game. Had the honor and privilege of calling 3 out of the last 5 finals and working with my good friend and idol, Nick Vassos, calling games last season in Oceanside, but nothing like calling a game here at Toyota Arena. The last time I had the opportunity to do that was with Craig Elston back in 2021. And shout out to the voice of the Sockers and the biggest San Diego Padres fan I know. If y'all love Craig Elston for indoor soccer, you'll love him with his Padres Hot Tub podcast. You're welcome, Craig. The restart, De Leon back heels it in. Fabian, that one came close to knocking on Paulo's door. Gratterall back over to Orozco. The Strykers would normally cycle through 2 keepers, Gomez and Orozco. Orozco has played every minute of this game. Gratterall, Venezuela's finest, finds Lawal. Lawal, Walla, and a goal! Dyerson Gratterall with the game-winning goal. Strykers win, Strykers win, Strykers win the game.
What a wonderful finish. Listen to this crowd sending them off. Ending Sunday fun day here at the arena. Just a beautiful moment for the Empire Fury to cap this win. Just a, wall of score. I mean, just the beauty of indoor soccer is the wall. And to end the season, the regular season on that, just a great moment. Just a great finish. You know, we've talked about it all game, Philly. St. Louis came out in the 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, and now overtime. A little lackadaisical, and they got caught. So We'll see how they do in the playoffs, but that's certainly something Coach Locker's going to have to look, talk to about.
Dyerson Gratterall, a rookie from Trujillo, Venezuela, played pro futsal, moved to the U.S. at the age of 16, played college soccer at Mountain View, USL League 2, UPSL, TST at 1015 FC, and dare I say, the biggest goal of his indoor career, the go-ahead, the winner on the final day of the regular season in front of 7,861 fans. Gratterall with the game winner, and Strykers close this season with a winning record. But look, shout out to the St. Louis Ambush fans. That was an incredible, incredible game. With the win, the Strykers even up this year's series at 2-2. My, what a game.
And don't forget your Lowalla scorer.
You're right. I had to think about that one for a split second. I'm like, wait, what did he just say? Kudos Lawal
there you go.
Created that opportunity, and we've got Amanda, the Panda Filament, standing by. I assume she's going to talk with the game winner. Yes, she is. Dyerson Gratterall, Venezuela. Shout out Trujillo, Venezuela. Let's kick it down to the Panda as she's talking to the game winner, Dyerson Gratterall. Take it away, Panda.
I see myself. Hey guys, I'm here with Dyerson Gratterall, the game winner in overtime against an Ambush team who was vying for the top spot in the entire league. Talk to me about tonight's performance and what had you guys so jazzed up to do what you had to do tonight?
Yes, I want to know it's a hard game, and we work so hard for this every week, but it's not over. We got more time. We need to keep it up, continue like this, and thank you for my team. Work hard, every player, so yeah, I'm happy.
You guys played in front of a crowd of almost 8,000 tonight. They were incredible. How important was that to you that they showed up for you tonight?
Wow, it's amazing. Thank you, the fans, for coming. Come every game, they help so much, and thank you so much for coming.
Thursday, your next game, first round of the playoffs here. What are you guys looking to focus on the most going into that game?
We continue like that, every day, work hard, and focus on the next game. Every game is a final. It's not easy every game, so we need to continue like this, yeah.
Congratulations on a big win tonight. Enjoy this one with the game winner. What a performance. Can't wait to see what you guys can do on Thursday.
Thank you. Let's see Thursday.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Amanda Filament. Thank you, Dyerson Gratterall. Gratterall, 16 games played this season. That was his 4th goal, his 5th point. We're going to step aside for a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to wrap this one up with a bow. Your final score, though, Empire 5, the Empire Fury 5, the St. Louis Ambush 4. Back in a moment with the highlights and stats, and we'll see you in a second.
Heart needs a helping hand? You want the best, most advanced treatment available. We know there's strength and expertise. That's why for over 50 years, we've been a trusted provider of heart and vascular care in the region, specializing in minimally invasive surgical techniques, from treating infants born with heart defects to performing complex endovascular procedures. Our specialists are here to support strong, healthy hearts. Loma Linda University International Heart Institute. Many strengths, one mission.
Hit it.
I'm so excited.
Buenos dias.
We are bred to be storytellers.
Welcome to Inland Edition, conversations working to make the Inland Empire a better place.
Welcome to the Ontario Airport Hotel and Conference Center, where convenience meets comfort. Just 5 minutes from Ontario Airport and only 30 seconds from Toyota Arena, we are right in the heart of the IE and home to your Empire Strykers watch parties. Whether you're traveling, catching a game, or hosting your next big event, we have everything you need, from a full snack bar and pool real-time flight tracking, and flexible event spaces for groups of all sizes. Trusted by teams, fans, and the community, Ontario Airport Hotel and Conference Centre is proud to be the Empire's most trusted hotel.
In our haste, as we were talking about the St. Louis ambush and the San Diego Sockers, what you and I failed to do. Hello, everybody, by the way. I don't know where that camera is. I'm glad I didn't have anything. More blast that would end up being victorious with this as well, because it is now the Sockers and the Blast with the bye. The way it's set up right now, the Wave are going to play the Strykers and the Ambush are going to play the Comets. How many times can we say that the Comets and the Ambush have played against each other? But nonetheless, what a game it was. Let's take a look at some of the stats that we had into today's game. This was as tight of a game as possible, Artie.
I mean, look at everything reflects it. Goals, 4 and 5, shots, 16 and 17, saves, 9 and 7, fouls, you know, in the ambush, 22 to 15. You know, I mean, it's a game. It was a playoff caliber game. It was very important for the Empire Strykers to kind of come out and have this performance. You know, they've had a very, not to say turbulent year, but obviously when you make a coaching change with 3 games left, there's some things that needed to happen. And, you know, in professional sports, the ownership has to pull the trigger sometimes. And in this situation, you've seen a change in the team. You've seen players who were, you know, being rotated in, getting more consistent minutes and pulling points and grabbing points. And you've seen an increase in the expedited style of play, a more traditional from the back. But this thing, more than anything, you know, we talked about what my mom's most proud of, and that's my academic success in sports psychology. And right now, the sports psychology moment for this Strykers team is huge. They came tonight to play a team that was battling for tops in the table. Had this game been flipped and they won, St. Louis wins in regulation, they would have lost a close game to the Shield, to the top team. So they've proven tonight that they can play. They've proven that they can play against other teams. But more importantly, it's 3 games in a row, Philly. They've put together a mentality of winning top games when it needed to happen. They had their backs against the wall. They came in, last home game, they lose to Tacoma. And what did they do? They made the change. And, you know, you say it all the time. When things are on a roll one way or the other, you're just one step away from changing the direction in your path. And that's exactly what they did.
It's not only your mom that's impressed by your academic record. I'm impressed, too, because you created a term and you said a word that I'd never heard in my life, let alone been able to spell. But either way, that was impressive. And look, this was a very impressive game. You said it. I mean, Empire, the last time you and I were here in this building broadcasting a game, it seemed as if there was a dark cloud presiding over the roof of Toyota Arena. And then the necessary, unfortunate changes were made, and then all of a sudden the team goes on a 3-game winning streak and secures a playoff spot, beating teams that a couple of weeks ago, we don't know whether or not they would have been able to beat them. It wasn't easy to go into Milwaukee to win. It wasn't easy to go into Utica and win. And it certainly wasn't easy to beat a St. Louis team that had already beaten this team twice. But this team stuck together. It was a total team performance. There was no player that absolutely dominated the scope of the game. Everybody played together as a unit, and that's what you need for a team looking to make a deep run within the postseason. When it comes down to those final stats, the Empire would take the 1-goal lead in overtime, and they would outshoot the Ambush by 1, 17-16. Your goals in the first quarter, Rashad Ahmadi got a couple of goals in the second quarter. Paulo Hernandez, Robert Williamson. In the third quarter, De Leon, William Esque. In the fourth quarter, that was where the action happened. Stinson, Shalier, and Christian Briggs with the equalizer, but at the end, it would be Dyerson Gratterall with the game winner, which would propel the Empire to win the final game of the season. Folks, the beauty that we have, the thing that I am so happy to say is this is not going to be the final time that you hear from us. We will be back here at Toyota Arena on Thursday as we host the Milwaukee Wave in our first playoff game to take place in Toyota Arena since 2021. On behalf of myself, Christian Filliman, better known as Philly, Artie Kyrell, our incredible production staff led by Emery and the legendary Mike Cepeda, we want to say thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for spending your Sunday with us. You were watching the Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV. We will see you on Thursday.
In America, 11 million children are living in poverty, in desperate need of food, academic support, and stable housing. Children who face staggering challenges and who are more likely to experience health problems and fall behind in school. But there is hope. At Hope Through Housing, you're changing lives. We provide children with the support they need to dream, learn, and break the cycle of poverty. Your gift today can make a world of difference in the life of a child.
Are you looking for inspiration? The FYI podcast shares powerful stories from people like NFL Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson, Gabrielle Walsh, star of NBC's hit show Bound. You'll learn all about mindset and what it takes to navigate, overcome, and persevere through any challenges that life puts in front of you. If you're ready to be inspired, subscribe to the Finding Your Inspiration podcast.
Funding for this program is presented by September's Tap Room and Eatery. More information at septembers.com.
For 30 years, National Core has been transforming lives, building communities where our residents and neighbors can thrive, and providing homes for your Empire Strykers. Affordable, high-quality, secure housing. National Core, home of the Empire Strykers.